What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dragon's Lair. You got Sam and Chris here tonight. Hope everybody is doing well. Chris, good evening, sir. How are you?
Hey, Sam.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dragon's Lair. Wow, that was an echo and a half, dude.
Yeah, I was not muted on the phone.
Man, I did not want to hear myself. I sound terrible.
You have the voice of an angel.
Yeah,
I heard you
that angel
sing.
was caught on their train tracks. Um,
It's like if you mix Jesus and Fergie's voice. That's you singing.
shut up. We're starting off already with the razzing. Okay, I see how tonight's going to be. I guess it was Shenanigans night, so. All right, let's say hello to folks, and
Are,
then
are
we'll get
we
into it.
are we about to drop some shenanigans quotes tonight?
Possibly, there might be some. There might be some. Oh man, Marco, good evening. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Ramsey Silence in here doing what he does. Appreciate you, my friend. Week in, week out, doing what you do. You're the best, my friend. Henry G, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Angelo, good to see you. Thank you. Brown Fog, good to see you. Chris B. Blacksmith, good evening. Good to see you. Miranda Keith in here. MK Ultra, good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Mick Ranger, good to see you. Mick EDC Ranger, you changed your name on me. Don't screw me up like that, man. You can't do stuff like that. I've fallen into a routine. You can't do that to me, man. Let's see. Sergeant Maximus is in here. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you. All the way out from Hawaii. What's going on, Wicked Dream Designs? Good to see you, my friend.
Dude, I laughed like 3 times this week at random thinking about some of his comments on last week's live.
He was
Awesome.
he was definitely on a roll last week
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, that was good stuff for sure. Mo Patty, Trish, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Let's see here. We need to get a sticker of this thumbnail. It's stinking cute. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk to On the Edge and see if this is a doable sticker for him. I could get behind the idea. That's not actually a terrible one.
When you were crafting this and getting it set up, was cute what you're shooting for? Was that actually in the command line?
No, I asked for an animated version of us, and I asked for us looking like we were having a good time, right?
Okay.
Because the pictures that I had of us doing this for some of the thumbnails that I was building, both of us had very serious faces, and I was like, we look like miserable people right now. So I want to like put some smiles on our faces. So I was trying to have it do that, and instead it made us, well, as Trish says, we look like excited little midgets. Two 6'3" guys, and Trish just called us midgets. That's some crap right there.
We're the world's tallest twin midgets.
There you go. That's right. Daddy Wyvern's up in here. What's going on, Dad? Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Projectiles are sharp. What's up, peeps? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see who else made their way in here. Mama Loot, old school rocker. Good evening, Wyvern Kodiak, and all in the chat. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. We are having a wonderful Wednesday, and it's even better hanging out with all of you. Let's see here. Who we got? Rebel Rouser 777. What's up, dude? Good to see you, Shane. Appreciate you coming in, man. Good to see you. Let's see. Anyone else that we missed? Yeah, Rolf Robertson's up in here. Good evening, Rolf. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight for a little while. Making our way through here, almost done. And that's all I got.
Check, yeah. About to say Negan and the Walking Dead. Yeah.
Oh, Negan. Do I? I don't think I look like Negan.
Oh, you do. A little, yeah. Yeah, you look like a giant Negan.
I guess I don't know. He was a badass, so I'm not really disappointed with the comment. I'm actually okay with it, but I just think it's funny. I don't know. I guess you never really think you look like yourself, right? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty funny stuff.
I get it.
Um,
I used to get mistaken for George Clooney all the time.
oh, yeah, me too. Brad Pitt here. Um, I look like the guy that used to eat Brad Pitt. Only a little while. Okay, fine. You could stay as long as you want, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. So we had a really good time talking about design and all that kind of stuff last week, and I feel like you guys had a lot of input into your feelings on designs. And we talked about packaging last week and things like that. And so I wanted to start off this week kind of on the same note and ask. Sorry. Negan is also an asshole. Well, if the shoe fits, Chris, I'm just saying. See, Negan and Sam definitely has his attitude.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Beat up on Sam tonight. He's a nasty individual. He's an asshole. Okay, got you. Thanks, everybody.
He was an effective leader.
He was an effective leader.
Yeah, I think that's what they mean. I think that's what they're referring to, Sam.
Yeah, sugarcoat it some more, pal. Oh man. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about finishes of knives, because Chris and I kind of, as much as we are alike in so many ways, Chris and I couldn't be more different in so many ways as well. And Chris was just talking to me about this, and he doesn't mind having color on his knives and having a little bit of flair to his carry, right? Whereas I am very monotone. I like gray, I like black. There's
Done.
not a lot of color in my collection. I
Gray,
would say,
black, done.
yeah, pretty much that's it. I think I have less than 10 knives in the collection that have color on them. And to be honest with you, every single solitary one of them could be sold at any point in time. I would have no problems getting rid of any one of them. There's not one of them that I would hold on to, and that includes my Machine Wise Mojave, my Machine Wise Sonora. There's just I just don't do color knives. It's just not my thing. But I get it. I don't have anything against anybody who does. It's just not my preference. The purple one should be sent to me, Wyvern Kodiak. Noted.
Is that Sonora? Your Sonora's got some purple in it, doesn't it? Or is that all just blue?
It's really just blue. I mean, I guess maybe a little bit of tinge of it. And the Sonora, I'm holding off on advertising it for sale only because I know that Clayton had talked to me about it at one point, and I'm in no rush to get rid of it. So if he wants it, he was the first person to ask about it. So I'll give him dibs on that before offering it out. But we'll see. Trish is on a roll tonight. Boring. Yeah, I know. I saw a couple other people pop in here. Faithful EDC's up in here. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Hello, sir.
Appreciate you hanging out tonight.
Good live tonight, Faithful.
Want to know why knives? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out tonight. Zach Kennard, good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you coming in. Loki's up in here. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out tonight as well with us. Try not to get too far behind, and we're caught up again. How about that? It's so much easier if you stay on top of this stuff, Chris.
Yeah, good job. You're doing outstanding in our first 15 minutes.
Yeah. Give me time. I'll screw this up. So here's the question, I guess, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. There are a million finishes out there, and I've seen plenty of fat carbon, camo carbon. I've seen plenty of carbon fiber in general, G10, aluminum, titanium, all that kind of stuff. There are a dime a dozen knives out there at this point with that. Is there any type of handle material? Is there something different that you would want to see on a knife? Or, and I'm not saying that it can't be on another knife, but I was thinking about it earlier and I said, like the idea of maybe some glass, like not glass like what your windows are made out of, but like the glass that they're making handles out of and stuff like that. Chris, you've got something with that on there handy.
Yeah. I'm gonna show.
Hang
I've
on,
got
let
a
me blow
hole.
that up.
Yeah, I've got a
Yeah,
hole.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, the hole has glass in there, right? So
Yeah.
something
Oops.
like
Wrong
that,
side.
right? Something different, something unique. Is there any handle material you all would want to see? I'm just trying to kind of get a feel for what folks are looking for out there, because it's really difficult to offer something fresh where, I mean, let's face it, it's almost impossible to come up with another blade shape now. Everything is an iteration of a blade shape that exists. There's not a lot of new when it comes to a lot of that stuff. So the devil's in the details, so to speak, right? It's their milling patterns, it's how your fit and finishes are, it's a different blade hole, it's something like that. So I'm just trying to come up with something. I'd love to hear what you guys think
I,
on that.
Kristen just said magnesium, and I love that.
Trish, yeah, we got hit with the storms pretty bad here today. We had flash flood warnings. I drove up the street and there were roads, like side roads, that were completely flooded out where the people in the developments could not get out. There was just no way. And I mean, a lot of the cornfields and um, soybean fields over here look like ponds and lakes now. So I mean, we got, I don't know, a lot of inches of rain in a very short window. So it was pretty rough for a while here, but kept power, kept internet. Everybody's safe, so uh, we're good here. But appreciate you checking on us.
So Tristan said magnesium, and
So,
man, I love that. I've got about every variant of the work sharp knives, and I absolutely love that magnesium. And man, it's so incredibly light. It's durable. I mean, they make racing, blocks or engine blocks out of this stuff. I love what they've done with that. And that's a great idea. I just don't know who else is capable of doing it.
interesting conversation about that, Chris, because I actually, and speaking of the devil, well, not Clint. Hello, Clint. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out.
You just call Clint the devil?
No, but Fred the Lug and I actually had this conversation about magnesium handles, and he brought up a good point, right? Magnesium in and of itself is dangerous, right? It needs to be, I guess,
Now, is it
neutralized.
an alloy? Yep.
So in order for that to happen, the cost, the expenses, and things like that, like a work sharp company could put something like that together with the volume that they're putting out and everything. But I would imagine the investment was so massive. I don't know that you or I can pull that off this early in the game. But
Well,
I mean,
it,
I agree with you. I think the feeling of it, everything about
yeah,
it's very cool.
I think it's figuring out who makes them for them. And because somebody has the technology and the tools and the equipment to do it. Now, whether or not they're willing to OEM that for somebody else, because I'm pretty certain that all of the workshop it says it's assembled in the US. So I'm going to assume that means that all the components are made elsewhere, shipped here, and then they put them together. So would be
Yeah,
what my
or at
guess
least a
is.
good portion of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care the finish as long as it's a beautiful purple. I know. Loki is a purple fanatic. I do know that. I do know that. Glass micarta.
Hmm.
Okay. Glass micarta.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about glass a little while ago. That's a great choice.
Bone and wood. Interesting. I don't know if I would do a full handle Ramses in wood, but I could totally foresee combining it. Like I think something like a really beautiful finished koa inlay or something like that would look great on certain knives. Or I mean, wood or bone straight up like on a fixed blade handle. Sure, I could see that, but I don't
I,
know. I'd have to
I
put some thought into that one.
yeah,
Glass
True.
flecks that are inside the micarta.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Good. Good.
You,
Good.
you know,
Matt
and
Maurer. Good to see you, man.
I think that is really based upon what your price range is and what we're trying to do, right?
Sure.
Like I love aluminum handles on something I'm going to have very little regard for.
Yeah. No. Hey, Stacy Bolster Blades. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in
And
and hanging out.
I
Um.
I have fat carbon and camo carbon and carbon fiber. I don't care for them. I mean, they're okay, but I don't really like them. I prefer some sort of metal handle.
Especially
Yeah,
bone.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's a big flame risk.
yeah.
So what you're saying is this could be
A
interesting.
fire. It could be a fire starter as well.
There you go. Zirconium Damascus.
Mm, that sounds
Yeah, that
expensive.
look, I'm sure that I mean that is probably would be an absolutely stunning piece, but the market is about this big for that when it comes to stuff in my opinion. I don't know that that would be that would be a variant possibly, on the upper echelon type of thing, super ultra fancy type of thing, but it's a cool idea. I mean, I do dig the idea.
I like that if we were going to do something like have a have a design that would fit the majority and then have a couple of upgrade models, and if we could find somebody that would make us 10 of those, as a part of a big as a big OEM. But I agree. I think that I love the look of it. I love the idea. I don't know that a lot of people are going to be willing to pay the money it would cost to get it. Mm, I like what
Zerblasted purple, paper micarta, or backlight. Hmm.
that's I like backlight.
Not a bad idea.
Hmm.
Not a bad. Good. You guys are really kind of stirring the pot of creativity here. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't get me wrong. I'm the first to tell you that I want to put out stuff that people love, like, want, stuff like that. I'm not saying that the titaniums and the camo carbons won't come. I'm saying that I'd still like to offer a alternative variant or something, just something fresh, different, unique, something
Hmm.
like that. And so I'm just trying to kind of get where you guys are, what your thoughts are on these things. What would give me a good bright finish for my little Dixon skills? Air blasted, glass blasting, etc. Um, is there any color on Rebel Rouser? That's going to be the first question that I would have. I mean, are they like plain Jane scales, or are they anode or anything like that? Because that would make a difference as to how the color shows up and everything else. So be curious on that one. But Zerblasted does do a really nice pearlescent like finish to it. Let's
Agreed.
see. Thank you again, everyone, for getting me over 50 subs. I can't thank you enough. More to come soon. Awesome, Loki. Glad to hear you're getting some growth. Folks, if you are so kind as to head over to Loki's channel and check his stuff out, see what you think about it, and give him a subscribe. Help him grow. Everybody in here has done so great to help so many channels, including ours, grow so much. And that's one of the things this community is really great at, is pulling together and getting people over the next hump or hit the next milestone. So let's help Loki out. Let's go over there and subscribe to his channel if you aren't subscribed already, and check him out. And let's try and get him growing with everybody. Loki, do you have, hang on a second here. Let me just check something real quick. I want to make sure. Yeah, you're modded. Do me a favor. Drop your channel link in here if you haven't already, to make sure that everybody has a quick way to get to your channel.
The Sister Stable snuck in on you.
Yeah, I saw it on this screen. I'm trying to get through this a little bit.
Gotcha.
Give me 1 second. I promise I'm not missing anybody yet. Fred why not have Worksharp be the OEM? I don't know. I don't know if Worksharp would do something like that. It's worth thinking about.
Look,
it would have to be the right knife for them.
I own a division of Worksharp based upon all the stuff I purchased from them. I've got one of everything in their cart or in their catalog, I think.
Southern Cali EDC,
up,
good to see you, man.
Up,
What's up, Matt? Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out. I'm going to rip through here a little bit so I can catch up, because I am falling behind now. Chicken Fried Steak, what's up? Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out. Kathy, Sister Stables, good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, well, sourcing is always going to be an issue with rare materials and stuff like that, and harder to get materials, discontinued materials, and things like that. So, not saying that what everybody suggests is going to come to light, but it's certainly a cool idea to get it and see what we can uncover and find out and see what's out there. But it's definitely at least a cool idea. I do like that. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Robert Jones is in here. Good to see you, Robert. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. J1 Doobie's up in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, Fred. So Fred sent a couple knives for me to check out and do reviews on. He sent me a new Poikilo, which it's almost like a small little chode on crossbar. But he also said it's literally brand new, which is explained why it was so stiff. It needs to break in. It's on washers, and I'm going to fidget the crap out of it and see if we can't get the tracks on the washers going, and see if we can make that thing more fun. And then the other one he sent was the Winterblade Mythic, which, oh my gosh, let me tell you, I'm absolutely loving that knife a whole heck of a lot. And now that I have it and I've been able to play with it for a while, I'm really regretting I did not grab one of those at Blade Show, because that thing was fun. That thing is a lot of fun.
I always appreciate their innovation. Is it Brian Winter? Is that his name?
Brian Winters is an absolute wizard, and his mind works. I think I'm a forward thinker. I think that as an engineer, I think a lot of times 37 steps ahead, right?
Yeah.
And you even said something to me about that earlier when we were joking around, but
Yeah.
I think Brian Winters puts me to shame when it comes to stuff like that. Like that guy just thinks at a level where I'm like, I didn't even think about like how do you even come up with this goofy
Yeah.
craziness? But it's phenomenal. It
Yeah.
is. Um, Clayton, what's going on, man?
What's up,
Working
man?
and lurking. That's cool. Right on, man. I'm glad you're up and moving and doing your thing. Got lots of business going on over there in the stable, so I hope that you're killing it, brother. Been liking seeing all those Lemmys coming up on the shorts and stuff like that that you've been dropping. So it looks like you are,
Production's killing it. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like you're getting some work done, man. That's awesome. Glad to see it for sure. On the Edge EDC, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you coming in and hanging out, folks.
I-
Uh, quick plug for On the Edge EDC. He sent us some stickers. It's going to be the stickers that go in the order with the Gracchus. And let me tell you, they came out gorgeous. They really, really came out nice. And he is, fair price, just, you know, nothing nothing to complain about in my opinion. I've ordered stickers from several companies and he is making phenomenal stuff. So if you guys need channel stickers or anything like that, decals, reach out to On the Edge EDC. Makes really, really good stuff, very fair price. And he turned it around really quick for us, which was awesome because we asked for quite a bit of stickers. So turning it
And
around
not
that quick was pretty impressive.
and not only that, he's a great dude. So
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Mike's a very, very good dude. And so if you do need any, reach out. On the Edge EDC makes great stuff. I think a knife with an aluminum handle next for Wyvern Kodiak would be sweet.
mhm.
Next is not going to be that third design is not going to be probably not going to be aluminum either, but and I say this because it depends on where you're looking. If you're talking about OEMs, the next couple are already kind of figured out in that sense. The next one is definitely going to be titanium, but it's going to have other materials in there too in an inlay fashion. We're leaving this very um
I don't know if you can call that an inlay.
it is a
I
reverse
I
inlay.
I would call it an inside lay.
Ugh.
It, it,
Why do you have to be
yeah,
difficult?
it's,
Um
that's how my mind works.
yeah,
You're 37 steps ahead. I'm 37 steps behind. We meet in the middle often.
yeah, which means we cancel each other out and we're at zero. Um the third design is not going to have any inlay, but it will definitely be at least titanium and probably another type of material. We were thinking it was only going to be a titanium because of the fact that we thought we had who we were going to OEM, and the deal kind of fell apart on us unexpectedly. Kind of feel like the rug got ripped out from under us because we were ready to go with We Knives was going to OEM our third knife for us. And then after everything was already ready to go, and we were ready to say, okay, give us the pricing on this, and then let's start prototyping, they turned around and they were like, oh, we're so backed up right now, we can't do it. And I was like, so
Same in his intricate designs.
yeah, that one was probably the easiest design out of all of them, right?
I know.
But either which way, it is what it is. We're back to the drawing board when it comes to finding who we're going to OEM on that one. But I think we're going to figure that out pretty soon because I would like to get prototypes starting to get ordered on that one so that we're stacking a couple prototypes up here because um, next year I have some pretty bold goals for Wyvern Kodiak, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to meet them and reach them easily, but I need to start them now.
One a month, right?
No, God, no. That's $1 million a year for us. That would be ridiculous. I don't know if you're hiding some money on me, if you're already counting tonight's Powerball as a win for yourself, but
it's a done deal. I've already
all right,
claimed it.
man. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Where I was going with that projectiles was we have a couple of collaborations in place. I have a third collaboration that is in the works actively right now, and a fourth collaboration with another company that has asked us about doing it, and I just haven't supplied them a design yet, but they want to do something with us. So there's a possibility that something comes out of that with aluminum, particularly the one with artisan cutlery. I wouldn't be surprised if you see it in both artisan and CJRB. And if you see it in CJRB, you could definitely see aluminum coming up out of that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That would be a great one for aluminum.
Yeah, that would be. You grabbed the Mythic too, Matt. It's a very cool knife, man. Very, very, very cool knife. I'm having a lot of fun with that thing. I won't lie. It's been a very, very cool knife to check out. Let me rip through here a little bit because holy crap. Robin, good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out, buddy. Kathy wants to know what you're flicking, Chris.
I've been rotating. The one I've got in my hands right now is a tactile archer, but it's the flipperless, so I prefer a flipper. But I've also been flipping the work sharps that I pulled out. I've got, the button here, got an automatic one. I got their aluminum one here, an automatic too. I got a thumb stud one laying around here someplace as well. Like I said, we could OEM through Workshop if I quit buying from them, they'll lose a ton of business.
Rory Calhoun, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out. You found the channel. That's awesome. Funny story. So Rory accidentally wound up with some of our stickers, and Rory reached out and was like, "Hey, I need to ship you your stickers." It was, inadvertently wound up over here. So I actually got them in the mail today, and appreciate you turning those around to me, man. That's mighty kind of you to do that. And definitely grateful for that because we didn't want those out there. Those are supposed to be dedicated to knife drop release and whatnot. So accidents happen and all, so no harm, no foul, but do appreciate the honesty and all that kind of good stuff. So awesome of you to help out. So, okay, cool. So we are finally caught up, and that's funny. I am not caught up over here. How did I do that one? Oh, I see what I did. I don't know. I can't believe I didn't have my chat over here set to live. So I was a little bit, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, man. And, if you did, you did. It's not like, they're stickers. It's not like I don't think there's a weird secondary market for them. But they're just not the regular channel stickers. So very, very cool of you to do that for me and get them back to us. Because it's definitely one of those ones that we want to make sure that that they're exclusive. So they are very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to make a post about it in the coming days. I've been meaning to do that, but I'm actually so crazy backed up on making content right now because all the pass around knives all hit me at one time, and like 7, 8 different packages. Which, keep in mind, there's 2 or 3 knives in every package, right? Like 7 or 8 of them all came to me at the same time, and I was like, oh my god, I have so much to do right now. So, and then add that in, unexpectedly, Fred's like, hey, I added 2 knives to the package for you to check out, which, don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but holy crap, that's 2 more knives on the pile. So I already had 4 of his here, so now I've got 6 of his here. And I just got to make sure that I'm knocking out a few every day. And it's good. I'm in good shape right now. I've been doing that, so we're all right. But all right, so we're caught up, which is awesome. And so got a lot of really good ideas out of everybody tonight. You can hold play with 2 new ones for a while. I will not rush you. I know you. Now hurry. I know you never rush me, Fred, and I'm in no rush necessarily for moving through this stuff, other than I don't like holding people up from checking the stuff out in the next content creator's channel, right? So I try not to hold them too long. But so I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. So we talked about the handle material. Interesting thing, and this is kind of out of left field. So Best Tech reached out to me the other day, and they asked me if I can give them another version of our logos. I guess the reason why is because they must have had it before I made them like high definition logos, before I upgraded our logos to ultra high resolution. And they're working on ordering all the packaging for us now. So they needed the updated versions of the logos to get the packaging going. And so that tells me that they're moving along pretty well right now with our production, for them to be looking at ordering boxes, cloths, getting the cases done and stuff like that. So pretty excited when I saw them asking for that stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing this, and I'm going to be sending them an email probably tomorrow, and I'm going to ask them for an update. So I should hopefully hear from them by the end of the week on an update for where production is on the Gracchus, and then I'll have an update for everybody that is signed up for the newsletter. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, go to wyvernkodiak.com and sign up for the newsletter, and you'll stay informed on everything about production. And when we get new knives that we're coming in and we're going to release or do pre-orders on, or whatever we're going to do, I haven't figured out what we're going to do for the second one yet. We'll have those posted in there. We're going to do a really cool dedicated channel, or page, I should say, on the website to you guys, folks that are hanging on to Wyvern Kodiak merchandise and posting about that and stuff like that. So there's going to be a whole customer and community dedication page. So it's going to be very fun. Robert Willoughby is up in here. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out tonight. Very cool. Am I missing somebody? Hang on a
Not that
second
I
here.
can see.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that is Patty Trish says Vu. Is Vu in here? I didn't see Vu. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you said Best Tech and that set her off.
I guess maybe. What's happening, John? Good to see you. Wheezy3. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. Did I say hello to you, Monster Hunter? I know I said hello to you earlier in Clayton's live, but I don't know if I missed you tonight. If I didn't say hello, I apologize, and good to see you, man. Sorry if I missed you. Okay. Okay. I got you. I got you. Yeah. Well, I don't get me wrong. I work with Vu on stuff, and we talk quite a bit, but that's not who reached out to me for it. So I have a dedicated account manager over there, and then we have our salesperson. So Selena is our salesperson, and then Jillian is our account manager that basically kind of project manages everything, keeps us informed on everything. Relays everything, pulls pictures, goes over to the factory and takes video for us and stuff like that. So she is invaluable. I can't begin to tell you how great it is to work with her. She's been super, super helpful. So let me ask you all. You obviously seen the Gracchus, and the Gracchus is certainly a hybrid blade shape, to say the least. I guess that's the best way to call it that, right? It's a Nessmuck. It's a sheep's footy Nessmucky type of blade. What kind of blade shapes do you want to see out of designs from Wyvern Kodiak? I would love to hear what you guys really like. Or do you want to see more weird stuff, like more hybrid type of designs like this, something completely off the reservation, so to speak? Are Chinese made Spyderco any good? Anyone in here? Chris, that's more your category than mine.
I think they're okay. I prefer their Taiwan line than their Golden line. They got some stuff made in Italy that isn't bad. Some of the Chinese stuff. I tend to avoid a lot of the 8CR blade steels. So I don't mind sharpening. I just don't want to do one. I just don't want to sharpen every other day the same knife. So and that's a steel I tend to go through pretty quickly. So I can't say yay or nay, they're good or bad. I think that it's a regular Spyderco with just oftentimes the FRN and the and then 8CR, two materials I avoid.
Right on. I want a harpoon shaped blade. Chris B, you and me both. Don't worry about that. I assure you,
it's in the works.
A harpoon is most definitely going to make its face shown in Wyvern Kodiak designs. That is a must for me. I love harpoons. Spear with a poon. Okay, we've got two poon likers here, and I said likers. So you should just to be really clear, harpoon likers. This is a family program, folks. Get your freaking mind out of the gutter.
You're a professional, Chris. Pull together.
Yeah, you're a professional bullshitter. Warncliffe type blade. Well, Trish, design number 3 is very much Warncliffey. So I think you're going to be quite happy with that one.
Rebel Rouser, this is going a different direction, but 948 brings up something that Tonto winked.
I will definitely get there. I'm there in a sec.
Oh, sorry.
Tonto wink. Design number 2 is Tonto-esque.
Well, Ramsey's later on said Tonto Poon.
Tonto Poon. Okay. I could get behind that. Chris isn't a big Tonto guy, but I honestly, I'm not a big Tonto guy myself, but I do have an appreciation for certain Tontos. I think if they're made right so that they're... See, here's the thing. Tontos by themselves are very tactical. And that is not Wyvern Kodiak Designs stuff, right? So it's mixing an EDC style, utilitarian style with Tonto is where you'll probably find us if we're going to live in a Tonto space at all.
Yeah.
That would be the best I could probably mention for that. I want you to keep going with the hybrids for sure. I love your unique style. And I'm not saying we're done with hybrids. I think anything that we put out is going to have a touch or a twist or our flavor in there. It still has to be owned by us. Otherwise, it's just another boring knife.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things too, is that we don't really say we're EDC only. It's more so of what can we make that's versatile and utilitarian and that we like the look of. So there's multiple components in there.
Sure. You kind of like food, right? You start with your eyes, and
Yeah.
when you're purchasing things, it's the same thing. When you look at a knife, I mean, unless your intent right off the bat is not for collection, but for pure abuse or something like that, and you don't necessarily care what it looks like. But
Yeah.
for those that are looking for the aesthetics, which a lot of us are, then you obviously want it to look good. You want it to be inviting to your community, to the public, to the consumer. I want a PM3 with a Warncliffe. The fact that it's not a thing yet is a travesty. I
Agreed.
saw somebody else say that today. Zach,
I think Cole posted one on his. I think it was Cole. I was flipping through earlier rapidly, and it was his type of photography. So I assume that's what it was.
yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think it was Tri-State EDC's thing. He was talking about something with that. So, yeah. Spear with a poon. Poon.
We got a lot of Poon fans here tonight.
Rebel Rouser, let me ask you something, man, because you couldn't be further apart from one another on these two knives here, right? So, I mean, unless you're talking about a mini valley, then I guess you can sort of get them closer. But I mean, the valley full size is a 9-inch knife, and then the Morpheus is like a 7.
Probably 7. Yeah.
So,
7-ish.
I mean, you're really kind of in two different areas of the spectrum when it comes to that. Chris,
I think that
what
they
halt do you
feel
have?
similar. I have the haptic, but
Okay, you have the
I mean
haptic.
it's essentially the same as the Morpheus, just with a different blade shape.
Gotcha. And I have a Veli, and yeah, it's a big knife, man. So I mean, it depends on what you want. I mean, they're both phenomenal. They both have ridiculous action on them. They're both, the fit and finish on them is second to none, stellar.
I think the tiebreaker would be, do you like chocolate?
do you want some finished chocolate, and Chris could eat his body weight in it? I had to pull him away from the Hog House booth in Atlanta because he was going to eat them at a house and home there.
I was 2 minutes away from being in a diabetic coma.
You heard my Freudian slip, huh, Stacy?
Southern Cali said that the Valley and the Outlaw would be the good comparison. I agree with that.
Double Poon Tonto, triple ground with 2 hollow recurves.
You want that in a slip joint too?
All right. Derek, I don't know where that came out of left field on from your mind. Very interesting thought process there, but I don't even know where to begin on that one, man. That seems like a real busy knife to me.
Man, Derek's got a great imagination.
Yes, he does. A leaf-shaped shilling cutter style would be awesome. Such a usable blade shape. Well,
it would be so awkward if I just hugged you right now, right through the. I am a huge shilling cutter fan, and we've talked about that. And I was like, I want a premium full size shilling cutter.
And
Like,
I've already designed one.
yeah,
So that is a potential future design. And
I see a lot of
um,
shilling cutters. I've only seen one what I would call premium shilling cutter, and it wasn't full sized. So
anything you want to show us, Warncliffe? Are you trying to get sneak peeks? I know. When we get a little closer, I think I'll give you guys a sneak peek of design 3. I want to keep design 2 a secret, but design 3, I'll let you guys see once we get everything signed and everything like that. I'll share it with you.
Fred told me I would bring insulin to the next show.
Doctor's orders, man.
Yeah,
Um,
doctor's orders. I've got to now.
Man the harpoon for the win. I'm telling you, man, harpoon's like running away with it in here tonight, huh?
They're awesome, man. They
Just
look
don't call
so
it a
amazing.
reverse tanto unless the edge is sharpened. Understood. Understood. Look, if we're making any sort of harpoon, there's going to be 2 sharpened edges. I assure you of that, or I'm not calling it a harpoon. I'm sorry, tanto. Everybody's saying harpoon, and then yeah. Wyoming Adventures, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Love some harpoon. Right on. Can we all pronounce it tanto for smiles and grins? Nope. I'm going to call it a tanto. Because I like crawling under everybody's skin just a little bit. I'm a gaslighter. What can I say?
Hey, Fred's taking off.
Fred's out. Fred,
Yeah.
have a good night, man. Appreciate you hanging out with us. And appreciate you sending me a couple more really cool things to check out. Always appreciate you doing that, my friend. Let's see. That wink I showed me too. That's the wink I showed me too long ago. I
I'm missing.
English.
I'm not following.
English,
Yeah.
you're missing words or you've added too many words. I'm not speaking text Ramses right now. I need help. Man down, help. Tontos are for the birds. I want something that's slicey. Tontos are good for defense, but the high tip is anything for cutting tasks.
Yeah. I like if you have a small recurve in the blade, because then you can use that front, like the Norseman, where you essentially have the low if you're going to cut that way as well. And which again, that's the bulk of the cutting that I do.
Poonage is very important as well. I second that, Zach. I second that. I couldn't agree more. Matt says Veli hands down. Right on.
Trish will go the other way. She'll tell you to go Morpheus. Yeah,
Yes,
7.5.
Trish
Yeah.
did say Morpheus. I saw that.
Oh,
Morpheus is 7.5, not 7. Sorry, Fred. Sorry. The Veli is like the Outlaw, and the Mini Veli is like the Morpheus. Right on. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, the Outlaw's not quite as big as the Veli full size.
No, it probably is. I bet it's 9 inches.
No. I handled the Outlaw when we were down at the meetup, and it did not feel nearly that big.
Let's get a look.
Let's go look. Yep. Chris is on it while I get through this thing. I design the first sheep's poon Aries made for me. That's pretty cool. Aries makes some sweet stuff. I bet you that's going to come out killer. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, Stacy. Let's see here. White chocolate, please. Yeah, they didn't have white chocolate. The Finnish chocolate was milk chocolate.
Oh,
So I don't know if they do Finnish white chocolate.
8.875.
Wow, it is big.
And if
I
I'm
did not.
measuring, I'm rounding that up to 9.
All right, fair enough. I stand corrected. I just did not. Maybe it's because of the profile. It's just because it doesn't feel as robust as the other one. So maybe it just doesn't feel as big.
Yeah, it's elegant and smooth.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a great word for it. It is. But I think all Holts really are elegant
yeah,
in their own right.
agreed.
Brown Sugar, good to see you. Thanks for
How
coming
are you?
in and hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Sam, sorry, poon on the mind. I meant Tonto.
Can't
Guilty
fault
as
you.
charged. Guilty as charged, man.
Uh,
When you're starving, sometimes you need crackers, Just saying.
Rebel Rouser threw up a side by side. Where'd it go? Outlaws 8.875. The Bellies 8.85.
Wow. I did not realize it. That very, very interesting. SC Knife Monkey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us tonight.
Hello, sir.
Let's see. I'm actually making it towards the bottom here, Chris. I'm making it towards the bottom. I'm slowly but surely almost caught up. See that? Look, I'm all the way down to here.
Damn, there you go.
I sent you a pic on Instagram of my flamingo by Aries. All right, well, hold on a second. Let's go in there. Let's go check it out. Let's all go look at it. Woo! That is a flamingo. Hang on a second here. I'll share the screen. Let's share it with everybody. Take a look at this. Aries EDC made this for Stacy Bolster Blades. 80 CRV2 acid wash black burlap micarta bubblegum pink G10. Wow. And then
That is custom.
And then neon green with pink rivets for the. Wow. That is awesome. That is really, really cool.
That couldn't be any less Sam and any more Chris.
That is very, very true. Though I did tell Aries that if I was going to order something from him, it was going to be something like
Unique.
he had some like blurple scales with glow in the dark liners on them, and they looked really cool. And I was like, yeah, if I'm going to order one from you, it's going to be this. But I just haven't had man, there are a lot of knives that I still like want to order, have to order, all that kind of stuff. But I obviously can't order everything all the time, so we've got to space it out. But one's from Clayton. I gotta get a good one from Clayton still, and I gotta get one from Aries. So, and I gotta get one from Donnie Bless too. I gotta get one from Laser Ghost Knives. He actually posted Ripley today for on Instagram.
Oh, did he? Yeah, I'd like to get one from Donnie, and I've had 3 things now that Clayton's made, and dude's just phenomenal. And then I'd asked Aries if he had anything open on his books, and he did not. So, but yeah, it's the same way. I mean, I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus catching up, right now because I've spent a lot more than I intended to. I've spent this year's knife budget already. So
I spent this year's knife budget last year. Who are you kidding? Funny enough, and I told you this earlier, Chris, but I can't believe it. You know that we just broke 2,800 followers on Instagram already?
Nice. That's fantastic. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, everybody who's followed us on Instagram really appreciate that, and on here obviously we certainly do appreciate the subscribes on YouTube as well, but Instagram, just it shocked me how fast that blew up, and in the last month it jumped again. I think we gained over 100 followers in the last week on Instagram. So just I certainly appreciate everybody, and it's just wild that it comes in spurts and grows like that. It's pretty awesome. Josh D is up in here. What's going on, dude? Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Good to see you.
You know, we started going down the path of handle material. What about blade finish? Blade steels and blade finishes are really big, and I'm in a place where I typically I prioritize toughness over edge retention or corrosion resistance. And I know that corrosion resistance is your number one and edge retention number two. Go ahead.
I don't use my blades for hard tasks except for a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have like a reserved set of knives that are my true abusers, right? As a matter of fact, I was helping my mom working on her deck recently again, right? I'm just about done with that, but working in that heat was killing me, so I had to call it, but I'm almost done. And anyway, I was prying stuff out with my 20.5. I mean, I was working the hell out of it. Like, that knife is meant to be abused, and it's meant to work hard. And so it's like, yeah, I'm putting it through through the ringer on that. But
kind of, you've got a 20 CV, right? So
yeah, I have a 20 CV. So I mean, I know that. I'm saying, look, it needs a sharpening right now. It needs it has a chip on the edge and everything. So it does need some attention and some love. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I really do need to get on that. But
yeah,
that's a good question, right? Let's start with blade steels, and then if you want, do blade steels and finishes kind of in each message, right? So
yeah. So where I was going is I prioritize toughness because I can pick whatever edge angle I want at that point in time. Right?
Yeah.
Like if I want 15 degrees, I can get 15 degrees. If I want, it's like S35, I think is a great steel, but I wouldn't go below probably 17 degrees with it. And at the same time, I like a really tacky, toothy edge more so. Now, I will take knives that like a Magna Cut and I'll polish it. M4, I'll polish that, right? But in general, it's really tough stuff that I prefer to use, and then the stuff that isn't so tough, I make beautiful. Nice.
DLC, roar.
Done. I love DLC too.
Chat, certainly do appreciate it, and you're never going to hear complaints out of Chris and I when it comes to a DLC choice. Both of us definitely do love some DLC. That's probably the majority of what I would say is probably my favorite finish is DLC on blades. I do love a lot of finishes though, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think, funny enough, my least favorite finishes are probably the dolled up finishes, right? The mirrors and stuff like that, only because I don't want to have to always handle my knives with gloves on. It's like, yeah, miserable.
That's the thing.
Magna Max mirror stonewashed DLC.
Oh,
Yeah,
There you
man,
go.
there is not enough people right now. There are not enough companies right now that are doing Magnamax that I trust. I'm getting the right heat treat out
I,
of it yet.
I've not seen any but Spyderco release one. Have you seen it in other?
Yeah, there's somebody else. There was actually a couple of them that I've seen out there drop Magnamax, and
I
I
certainly
don't
trust
know.
Spyderco.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Spyderco is obviously. I think I would trust them. I think I would trust like Kunwu if they put out
Yeah.
a
Agreed.
Magnamax. But I don't know who else is doing it that I can sit there and say realistically, like even the great ones, the Riots and the Best Hex and the, you know, I don't trust them yet until I'm not going to be their guinea pig. Let's just put it that way. I think that's
Yeah.
where I'm going with it.
Well,
But
not. It's expensive, right? I'll buy a knife from them and test it. I don't want to create a line and hope that it comes out good, right? I don't
23
want.
likes. All right, folks. 23 likes. Hang on a second here. Why? No love? Come on. Drop some love here. Give me smash that like button for me, folks. We appreciate it. It certainly really does help the channel. Much love. Um, yeah.
But yeah, that's where I was at. Oh, what did you read that there?
Have you guys heard of Renaissance microcrystalline wax polish?
I have not.
NAR. But
Add to cart.
I'm absolutely interested, especially after one of the new knives that I got that has a mirror DLC blade. I'm all ears on this, Matt.
Yeah, you put it on your fingertips, not on your knife. So
There you
you
go.
just smooth over and trap the grease in your fingers. I but
Robert
my
Jones says ProTech has good Magnamax.
oh I didn't know they had one. Nice. Um,
ProTech doesn't OEM, if I'm not mistaken.
they'll do. I think they will. Maybe they just do collabs because they
I
do
think they
collabs with
only do
some.
collaborations, and if they do OEMs, they're going to be years out.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked to them at Blade Show about it.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm trying to get to my own stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah. So
translation. I've never heard of you two.
pretty much, which is fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm good
you
with it.
know Sam, I mean, I know you've heard me talk about this a million times and you're sick of it, but the DLC on Grimsmo, I mean, I can get fingerprints and stuff in it if I'm trying, but it doesn't stand out like it does like on my Kunmu Padre. Um, this is a full DLC, but it doesn't look black. It almost looks bronzed
Yeah,
to a
it's a
brown.
different DLC. It's definitely a weird DLC.
But man, I love the way it feels. I love the way it passes through material. I like the way it just the feel in my hand. This has been by far my absolute favorite knife of everything that I've purchased, everything I've worked with, and I don't think it would be if it didn't have that DLC on it. Every time I get selected for the buyer's choice, anymore, I go in and look for a Norseman, and they've not had a DLC option when I've been selected for the choice. So that would be if they did that, I would probably end up buying one of those and being like, okay, I've got the full DLC. Norseman too. I'd be
You
on
should
fire.
you should email them or send them a message. I'm
Yeah.
I'm sure that they would do it.
Well, we'll see how tonight's Powerball drawing goes. I'm sure I could make them do it too if it was right. But man, they're churning knives out so fast. I don't know.
Yeah. Gunmetal James, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Oh, I just got here. Thumbs up it, peeps. What's going on, Volt? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out.
What's up, Caleb?
Good to see you.
I think I saw Tommy and jumped in as well.
What's that?
I saw Tommy jumped in as well. Help with
Uh,
gadgets. I saw people saying
I'm
hello to him.
yeah. I'm not. Hold on a second here.
The
Do
chat's
I?
moving so quick. It's great.
Yeah. Moving so. Oh, there. Help with gadgets, Tommy. What's good, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Rory, thanks for coming in and stopping by. Appreciate you. Have a great night. Good night. And thank you. Yeah. I I would love to do like stonewash, acid wash, look like that that's another one that seems to be like a hot finish lately. That's been
Yeah,
coming out on a bunch, and I'm not trying to be like everybody else when it comes to that. It's just that the ones that keep coming out, like I'm like, man, that looks good,
yeah. If they're
right?
in demand,
Especially when they do just a touch of something um like a blue pivot collar or a purple pivot collar and a
yeah,
purple clip, right? Or a purple black backspacer clip and pivot collar. Just that pop of color to break up the monotony of all gray wash over. I think it looks great. I think that's like a stellar look right now.
yeah. And like when I did this one on the porcupine, that's not. I mean, I did that in my garage. It's not a professional one, but um, I like what the acid etch does and the stonewash combinations.
Yeah.
But I agree when they come out of a factory and they look pretty amazing. And yeah, they've got all the recipes to know this is the kind of acid etch, this kind of acid I want to use, and um, this is the percentage that we're diluting it or not at all based upon this kind of metal, and this is the amount of time it needs to be in, and they've got it all down to a science where you do them at home and you're like, let me toss this in and see what it looks like, and every couple minutes check it to see where it's at. Monster Hunter, there you go.
Good night, Monster Hunter. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Very, very cool of you as always. Have a great night. We'll catch you next week.
Good night, sir.
My
Thank you very
only
much.
adventure says nice porcupine. Yeah, that's actually, it's funny that you say that. Which drawer is it in? Here it is. So we were talking about the stonewash, acid etch, and all that kind of stuff. I have the Thai Slim porcupine.
I love that one. That they did so good with that. With the
Man,
thumb studs.
yeah, this thing is just. I mean, this is such a good knife. It is so freaking snappy. It's so comfortable. The fit and finish on this thing. I mean, and I have one of the original porcupines too, right? Like the $60 ones. But
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about the finish. This is the finish that I'm talking about, not necessarily the milling pattern, but the finish itself
Yeah,
of
I love that.
of a knife. I really really like that. So
Stonewash is my favorite because I just want to use it. If I just want to look at it, Damasteel, or
oh sure,
right. But if I want to use it, like I don't feel guilty about using a stonewash, even if it scratches it. I'm just like, it's just character.
I love the porcupine, but really want the porcupine, that porcupine, and a mod swap porcupine. So, Chris, have you seen those? The mod swap porcupines?
I
So
have
they made
not.
a crossbar version of a porcupine. They call it the mod swap. And so you can buy and mod yours, or you can buy them like put together now. And
Okay.
it's like they're expanding the line, so to speak, on the porcupine. And what I really appreciated, don't get me wrong, I don't have any interest in the mod swap, right? It's a crossbar lock that's just not my thing. But what I can appreciate is that they're listening to their customers a lot. They're listening to what people want and they're addressing that and answering instead of just flying right now, which is something that a lot of companies aren't doing. A lot of companies aren't listening to their customers' demands right now and saying, hey, I want this, I want that. And Vosteed is like, oh, you want a crossbar version? Let's do a crossbar version. Oh, you want a slimmer version? We're going to do a slimmer version. Oh, you want a premium version of it? Sure, let's do that too. S90V sound good? Like, you know, the one thing that it kind of like kills me is they made a DLC version of this one. And I'm like, damn it,
Now
after I bought this one, they drop a DLC one, and now I'm like, do I need that one too? Yes.
Or you buy that one, I'll buy that one from you, and you buy the other one.
You know, I could probably do that. I mean, I've never even cut anything with this. So
You could have, yeah.
I know you don't care, but I'm just saying from a perspective of
you could have shaved bricks with it and I wouldn't have cared.
yeah, but then the value wouldn't be there, right? I would feel bad turning around and saying, "Hey, Chris, you're gonna buy this from me, and what am I gonna? This thing's beat to hell."
I'm gonna put my edge on it anyway. It doesn't matter to me.
Sure, but you know, I don't know. I'm particular about that. Even if I'm gonna beat a knife up, if I'm gonna buy it, and
yeah.
Yes, I did. Full DLC version for me. We work the Best Tech booth in Atlanta. And so imagine having access to one of those cryas for hours on end every day. That knife and the taipans, I flicked probably more than any other knives the entire time I was in Atlanta. Short of
sweet.
the Gracchus. I think the Gracchus I probably flicked more than anything. But that's probably because how many videos we did with other people, how many people we showed it to, and so on and so forth. But as far as somebody else's knives, yeah. Crya and the taipan, which, you know, I have both taipans. It's one of my absolute favorites. But yeah, I pre-ordered one for sure. Had to have it. Had to have it. So Ramses is out. Ramses, good night, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out tonight. You're awesome, brother. Why didn't they do the same thing with the raccoon instead of a crossbar lock?
I'm with you. I like the raccoon maybe more than. I'm not going to say that. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like the raccoon a lot.
Porcupine is sweet, but I do like the raccoon a lot. I carry the porcupine a lot more often.
I like the porcupine better than the raccoon, but I do like the raccoon. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the raccoon. I got to grab a Thai Slim porcupine. Shay is bugging me for one now. James,
you won't be upset.
Yeah, you will not be mad at this purchase, man. I can tell you that much. The one thing I will say, if there's any disappointment, is that they appear to have used a strange size bearing in here. So initially, everybody was saying, oh, you want skiffs on here, it's going to be this size. And I want to say it was 5mm 1/16, 12 ball or something like that. And apparently they used some like proprietary size and nothing that Skiff makes fits it. So does it need it? I don't think so. But As a matter of fact, I haven't even had to take apart this knife. It's not even gritty or grainy or anything. This thing came clean. So, no complaints with it at all. But yeah, you will not be mad with the purchase, James. So go get Shay a Thai Slim Porcupine. I'm on Team Shay.
Yeah, and I mean James, the Gracchus, now the TI Porcupine. She has impeccable taste.
That's me. As long as the knife functions, I'll still be interested because I'm going to reprofile it anyway.
Yeah,
Sure, but if the handles beat to crap, if the rest of the blade that's not the edge, right? So if the flat of the blade all the way up looks like it's been through hell, I don't know if let's say, okay, this knife was $170, maybe something like that. Okay, it's brand new. Could I turn around and say, "Hey, Chris, I bought the DLC, so here's the other one. Give me $170 for it because it's brand new," or can I say, "Hey, Chris, this thing's beat to all hell, so I'm not going to get that value for it." Right? That's kind of what I'm going after with it. Is I've carried this knife, I just haven't used it for anything because usually I have 3 knives on me at any given time. And more times than not, when I'm reaching to cut something now, short of abusive projects, I'm usually reaching for the Gracchus.
yeah.
99.99% of the time. And speaking of the Gracchus, so Clayton has the Gracchus prototype right now. He has the Blurpinkle version. And while he was live today, I actually asked him because he was showing it. And I said, "Did you cut anything with it yet?" And he said, "No, not yet." And then he went and got a big old fat slab of leather. And he was just going and just slicing right through it. I'm like butter. And I was
Yeah,
like, man, that looks good cutting through that stuff. I was quite happy with how it looked.
yeah, absolutely.
Is Chris going to make Texas next year? Chris is going to get handcuffed, ball gagged, thrown in my bag, and he's going to Texas next year, whether he likes it or not.
I was going to say that I'm going to.
You're going to what? You froze.
I keep trying it each time, just a froze. Yeah. I was gonna try to stay there until you moved on. No, I will try to make Texas. I think that I would really enjoy it, and more than likely there'll be chocolate.
More than likely, there will be chocolate by more than one place because keep in mind something, okay?
Rob Johnson's will be there
Rob
too.
Johnson shows up there too. So any of the European places are going to have chocolate. Sad to see that there are no left-handed cryos. So Tristan, just so you know, Vu Fam told us that there were going to be left-handed versions. So you might want to hang tight, and maybe they're not announcing them yet. But from my understanding, there are going to be left-handed cryos. So hang tight. Wyvern Kodiak, the good Wyvern and Kodiak. Paul Mills, the good Paul Mills. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Let's see here.
Adventure 50 popped in too. There you go.
There we go. Hello, boys. I wanted to say hello, give you a thumbs up, show my support. Sick as a dog, so I'm off to bed. Have a great night and talk to you later. Lance, man, feel better. Appreciate you coming in and showing some love to the channel and saying hello to everybody. Go get some rest, buddy, and we'll check with you tomorrow and see how you're feeling. But feel better, buddy.
Sam, we talked. You'd said like you don't like crossbar locks, but we now 5 years ago, 4 years ago, that wasn't the thing, right? Like both of us really enjoyed. We each bought Benchmades because we wanted a crossbar lock, and we, for the most part, enjoyed that. And then moved on, and then the patent goes away, and now the market's flooded with it, and you can see a lot of people are like, now I don't want that. A lot of doesn't really matter what influencer channel I listen to. There's usually a lot of burnout, I guess would be for,
and that's where I was going to go with it, Chris. I don't dislike. Well, I should clarify my statement. I don't dislike crossbar locks because I think they're a bad lock. I
weak
think they
detents.
are a very serviceable lock that's reliable. I think they can be fun, they can be fidgety and all that kind of stuff. But there is something satisfying about a detent. There is something, as you call it, right? Mechanical soul in that. And I feel like that spongy, almost like when a regular frame lock gets lock rock and gets things like that. Like there's play there that I don't want. And
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to seeing how Neve's knife with the detent crossbar version comes out.
I bought one. I'll let you know. So
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure I'll handle that, but you know,
Yeah. Well, where I'm going to go with this is, what design do you think, what trend do you think will disappear in the next 5 years in the world, or which one would you like to see disappear?
traditional detent Omega Springs kind of suck. Yeah, James. I mean, that's kind of where we're going to, right? Right off the bat, you buy an Omega Spring knife, and you almost instantaneously want to replace the springs on the thing to thicker springs. And you know, if you have adjustable detent on there, then you're looking at,
You always go to the hardest. Yeah.
yeah, you always go to the hardest just so that you don't get blade play on things and stuff like that.
If
So
I had arthritis, I would probably love it,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
don't.
no,
So I don't.
and that's the other
Yeah.
thing, right? There's certainly still plenty of room for them in there. Yeah, I know, Chris, and you know what? I'm totally good with getting a hard time because I can give it as good as I can get it when it comes to people giving me hard times. So don't worry, I don't take offense to this. I actually embrace it.
And I'm sensitive, so that's why they don't attack me.
Yeah, you are sensitive. You're
They don't want to watch me cry.
all right, Bear. Um,
What's that, Dragoon?
crossbar locks are okay. I still prefer liner or bolster lock myself.
Hmm.
I do enjoy the crossbar lock on larger blades, though, giving them lighter action and weight balance, the lack of detent.
That's fair.
That's yeah. I think with bigger, heavier blades, a crossbar lock can feel different because the weight of the blade offsets that bounce a little bit. Not a lot of it, a little bit.
You know, ironically, I know they just made an XL version of this. But this Kershaw, I love. The crossbar on this one is really fun and snappy.
Hey, just cut a half-inch steel rod with the Gracchus like butter.
Nice.
So what
Whittling steel.
Clayton's saying is when you get this back, it will not be the same knife that you sent it.
Yeah. There might be a little chip in this one you want to work through too.
Yeah. Yeah, we might need to reprofile that blade.
Yeah, wait to clean up your Demco, or your 80-20.5. Might as well do it with a Gracchus.
There you go. What's up, Deadhead? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Yeah, as far as locking mechanisms that I think will go to the wayside or disappear, I don't think any are going to disappear. Okay, I think we're going to see less of some locking mechanisms. Like, truthfully, right now, everybody is putting out top liner locks. right? Top liner locks right now are the crossbar lock of yesteryear,
Yeah.
and I think it's the
I'm sitting
fad and
flipping
the
one
hot
now.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, right? What I think is, I think there's going to wind up being community burnout from that next. And don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic and amazing locking mechanism.
Yeah.
But when everybody's doing it and all you see is that, eventually eventually it just becomes like, okay, not another one, right? And I think that's what crossbar locks have become, because keep in mind, crossbar locks were at the top of the game going into COVID.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and how many of the industries slowed down or stalled completely out because of the inability to put enough people into manufacturing facilities and things like that. And not just knives, but products in general were
Yeah.
like that. And so I think that when you're looking at it from that perspective, all these companies that had all these designs being ready to be made, and then when they get back to work, well, guess what? They're all being pumped out, and they're being pumped out at a clip to try and catch up on the load that they weren't able to make
Yeah.
while that was happening. And now you have crossbar lock after crossbar lock happening when crossbar locks really are on their way on the downslope of
Yeah.
popularity. And so you get this flood, and you're like, oh my God, not another crossbar lock. And
I'm
I think
I'm
that's,
ready for the button frame lock to take over. That's my favorite.
I was going to say, I think what you're going to see is going to be hybrid locking systems, right? You're starting to see things like, look what they did with the Vancouver lock, and Remet came out with a button pivot lock system, which very, very good, by the way.
Yeah.
I think Riot has one as well. Aurora Knife and Tool uses the roundhouse lock, which is the same locking mechanism that is in the Dream Tech versions. So, which was, I forget, Seiko was the OEM manufacturer for that locking mechanism that they bought through, something
Yeah.
like that. So you're looking at a lot of companies sharing a lot of technology. Obviously, you have the Shark Lock system through Demco, and now you're seeing things like Snex Lock, which is in there as well. So yeah.
Check out
Um,
Dragoon's comment. I gotta find my Gracchus now so I can
You
flip
know
it
what's
for him.
strange? I can't become a member of your channel. Is that not an option? That is not an option, Clayton. I said that earlier. I have not set up any memberships on the channel as of right now. It is something that I have to do, and I have been slacking, and I apologize for that. And I will get that done, and I will make some membership available pretty soon. Give me probably next couple of weeks. I'll introduce the membership options. So thank you for reminding me. I will definitely get that done.
Dragoon, I lost your Gracchus.
What? How do you? Well, it's you. Never mind. I was going to say, how do you lose? But never mind. I've seen your knife area, and well, I can understand how you can lose something. I'm digging the button frame liner lock access. I like being able to go back and forth between a button and a lock bar. Yeah, and that's kind of what Chris was talking about, right? Is having that like frame lock, button lock type of thing going back and forth. It's very, very cool. I see some weak ass action on a Spyderco Chris flicker real knife like my Gracchus.
That's what I was looking for.
Outstanding,
But
outstanding. It would not have been a it wouldn't have been a good comment if it wasn't, if it wouldn't have been a good show if it wasn't for Dragoon giving a good comment on the Gracchus. What were
yeah,
you holding up there, Chris?
Tri-State V1.
Yeah.
So and it's a button frame lock, so I can either disengage it from the button, or you got the frame there as well. So again, multiple options, and I love that. I think that's so. It to me, you get all of the sound, the lockup, things that you like from the frame, and then just convenience to put it away. So like on a user, I love that.
Yeah. Derek, you're not wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything will go away. Okay. Don't. If that's what it sounded like, I'm not trying to say that. I don't think a top liner lock or any other locking mechanism is going to go away. What I'm saying is right now everybody is doing a top liner lock. Every single company out there is doing a top liner lock. It is the hot thing to do. Okay. Heck, we just signed a top liner lock, a button top liner lock with Artisan. We were asked to do a top button liner lock with Olatons, which we didn't do, and we went with Artisan. But what I'm saying is that that's the big one right now. That's the big popular one right now. The next locking mechanism will be what? Is it going to be the pinch lock from Numb Knives? Is that going to take over? And
When
something like that.
when does the Shark Lock lose its patent?
Yeah, well, who knows? Who knows? They have. I think they get what 20 years or something. So
I don't know.
I think they can renew it after a period of time up to 20 years. So I
Gotcha.
think that's how it goes. Helena Bull has killer pivot lock. They're working the kinks out of, and don't plan to do many models of that. That's cool. Dragoon, are they going to introduce any of those into the concept models as well, or are they only going to keep that on the tenable side? Just wondering.
Check out Dragoon's comment at 10:39.
I got it. Sorry, Clay. This one?
No, 10:39. Let me now go forward to the next one.
Never mind. No time for pants. Gotta go save my Gracchus.
He said I lost it.
Look, I'm just. Hey, Chris. There is a bearded man with no pants on his way to your house. I'm just telling you.
I'll find it and have it on the front porch waiting before he gets here.
It gets the lotion on its skin. CJRB does a button top frame lock. I hope they come out with more. Are you talking about the Latitude that they released right now? I think it ends today, but they have a coupon going on Amazon. I think it's $54, something like that. Pretty nice knife. I won't lie. It's very, very cool looking. So if anybody's interested, go on Amazon and look up the CJRB Latitude. I think it's $76 normally. I think it's $54 with the coupon right now if you want, but I think it ends today. So if you want it, grab it now, or it goes up in price.
I found the Gracchus.
The Triad Locks patent running out this year. Okay, the Triads. Okay.
I'm not sure. I like the Shark better than the Triad. I think the Triad's stronger. But
The Triad's stronger, but yeah, no, I agree. The
convenience of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm keeping an order open for you, brother. Let me know what I can do to. Oh, you're talking about Sever. I'm sitting here going. I'm reading this and I'm going. I didn't order anything. Okay, cool. I'm caught up. Awesome. So, Yeah, that as far as locks go, I think that's my feelings, Chris, on it is going to
Mhm.
be that it is um it's going to go in the waves, right? And I think as we see crossbar locks bottom out, we're going to call it that, which means they're still existing because let's face it, Benchmade's not going anywhere, and Benchmade is still going to continue pushing out crossbar locks. I would imagine we're going to continue seeing them introducing new versions of the bug out. They're going to continue selling bug outs, producing bug outs, Osbornes, and all that other stuff. So I can't imagine we're not going to see those for a long time.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is, I would imagine it's going to go in waves. Fast forward 10 years from now, and maybe they make an upswing because they aren't as popular. And then all of a sudden, people are like, all of a sudden, the company's like, hey, you know what? Nobody else is really doing this other than Benchmade. Let's swing for another crossbar lock. And then all of a sudden, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, the crossbar lock. This is so cool. And then they're going to
Yeah.
love it again. Right. So
Yeah.
it's like bell bottoms, right? Bell bottoms were in the 70s and then they went out. And then for a little while, they came back in style. Like, I think locks are going to be like the same way in their own right.
Yeah. Yeah. And, Paul said, the shark lock's pretty dang strong. Absolutely, man. It's a
Oh,
beast.
oh hell yeah. Heck, there is no question about it.
I,
I'm not taking away from its strength. A triad lock is a stronger lock, based on the
I,
testing that
one,
I've seen.
yeah, 1A and 1B, right? Like, I think the Triad had almost 900 pounds hanging off of it, and before it broke, and I think that the Shark Lock was 7 something, I think is what I saw.
Seven
Uh,
780s or something. It was almost
yeah,
800 pounds.
yeah. And so again, I, yeah, I couldn't hold up 800 pounds hanging off the edge of my blade. So yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I'm not going to be quite abusing it to that point. And I'm not in a field trade that's going to require any sort of massive abuse. But again, that is my knife of choice when I'm out doing something and really working my knife hard. Prying and sticking and stabbing hard, not just cutting cardboard and rope. That's what I
Yeah.
go for, what I reach for. Lion Not a Sheep's up in here. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. If you guys are just coming in or haven't done it yet, do me a favor and smash that like button for us. We really do appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure that everybody in here is a subscriber of the Wyvern Kodiak YouTube channel. But if you're not, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for us as well. We really appreciate all the support, and we're working our way towards. Well, I'm trying to get to 1,500 soon. We are at 1,282, I think it was, coming into the live tonight. We were at 1,282. So when we get to 1,500, we will have a nice milestone giveaway for everybody. So if you all can help us, we really do appreciate that, and can use
I,
all the help we can get because it is getting tougher to grow on YouTube. In case anybody has not seen what YouTube is doing to the content creation groups, they've changed all of the formats now. Starting February 2027, you no longer need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. They now need 8,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. And I'm sorry, it's not and. Or the other thing was it used to be or 10 million views over 3 months. And now they're upping it to 20 million views over 3 months.
wow.
And then on top of that is you have to maintain that view count for your shorts. So here's where it really sucks. if you don't maintain 10 million or 20 million views or whatever over a 90-day period, they will demonetize your ad revenue for your shorts, only your shorts. They'll still pay you for your long view videos. They'll still pay you for super chats and all that other stuff. But if you're making anything on revenue from your shorts, if you don't maintain it, they turn off all your revenue on that. So they completely have screwed the little guy. And to say the least, it's the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. If you're not a massive channel, you're going to be hurt by this. End of story.
I think what I hear Sam saying is tomorrow, take your favorite knife to work, walk up to all of your coworkers one at a time, show them your knife. Like, go subscribe to the Wyvern Kodiak YouTube channel now. Watch them do it. Make them pull out their phone.
Do not listen to Chris.
Watch them
do not listen to Chris at all. Okay, let me save you from yourself. Okay,
because
one of us
we talk about knives.
I'm going to mute you in a minute.
Not in a threatening way, Sam. In an informing way.
I'm gonna have to mute Chris, because you know what the problem here is that one of us has to be the logical adult, and usually that's Chris. But in this situation here, I think I'm gonna have to do it. So, folks, do not go to work tomorrow and hold your knife up to one of your coworkers. Do not do any of that silliness. Okay.
In an informative way, not a threatening way.
You know, Volt, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even think Ray is going to be safe. And Ray just broke 60,000 subs. And even he is struggling. So keep in mind, right? The numbers, put the numbers in perspective for a second. Ray makes 7 shorts a day, typically gets approximately 10,000 views per short. That's 70,000 views per day. 70,000 views per day times 30 is 2.1 million per month. And if you're not averaging 3.3 million per month, you're not going to get it. Even Ray is in trouble in this situation, and he is a shorts machine.
It's time for us all to move to Rumble. J1 Doobie, he's in. He's going to go threaten coworkers, or excuse me, inform coworkers tomorrow.
I want nothing to do with this.
If somebody takes it the wrong way, you call me. I'll bail you out.
Neil McKenzie, what's going on, man? Good to see you. But he can't carry a knife at work. Yeah, I'm not allowed to carry a knife at work either. I carry 3 every time I go. I'm just saying. And Dragoon's like, I'll do it. Yeah, you work at a knife company. Like, you don't count.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys see the video that I posted the other day for this knife here? The Maju cut. Let me put this up on the screen.
Very interesting.
It's an OTF, right? So I don't know if you guys are into OTFs or not, but it's an OTF, and the system comes with all these different blades. And so all you have to do is, there's a little mechanism, a little lever here. You lift it up this way, and the thing comes right out. And then you put the new blade in, and they have like, I don't know, 10 different blade shapes. And it's really cool. It has a fork option. It has a hair comb. It has drop points, tantos, daggers. I can't even remember what else it had. There are a bunch of them, but they gave me basically all their blades in these little tubes, right? And it takes 5 seconds to change one of these out. Super, super easy. And it comes with another blade holder, right? Like an inside mechanism. And you change it out, and it actually changes the tolerances so that it becomes a near zero play knife. And it's incredible. It's really, really good knife. And it's available right now for a Kickstarter. They have them in aluminum and titanium. And then the blades are, what are these? HCR blades. And then they offer M390 and Damascus. So if you want like a real dolled up one, you can get a titanium one with Damascus and like just have like the sickest OTF ever.
Yep. Hey.
All right, guys, getting out of the shop. Catch you all later. Got a shower. All right, Clayton. Appreciate you hanging out, man. Have a good night. Hope you got a lot of work done today. TC Blades, what is going on, man? Good to see you. Appreciate you hanging out tonight, coming in. Yeah, man. So that is that OTF is a lot of fun. I really dig it, and they actually Logical Carry sent me another message and said that they were going to send me some more stuff to check out. That they enjoyed the content that I had put out for them on there. I'm going to put out some more on this knife because they still have a little while left, but the OTF is fully funded 13 times over. So they already have 13 times the amount they were trying to raise on Kickstarter. So delivery time is going to be around December according to the timelines. But if you're interested, check that video. I dropped the links in there. Go over and support the project. It's a really, really good knife. And I'll tell you, having that flexibility to just have all those blade options all in, just one package is really, really cool. I dig it a lot. So
that is really cool. I think it's very interesting. And again, the speed at which you were able to get those out. What would be really cool though is if they could design it, and maybe there's some value to not doing this, but I was thinking you on your video 2 times in a row you put it in backwards. I'm wondering if they could design it so it would only fit one way to make it go in, or maybe not. Maybe putting it in backwards could have some utility.
Well,
to use it in multiple grips.
Well, here's the thing, right? The button's only on one side.
Yep.
Right? And so when you're doing it, I wasn't paying attention to which side the button was when I was putting it in. And then on top of that is, and I guess I could show it to you because it's just easier to see it, but every blade has a slant on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it only goes in really one way. I can't get it in this way. It has to be this way. But I just wasn't paying attention because, let's face it, I'm looking through a screen at my hands, not looking at my hands.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make sure that my hands are staying in camera so that everybody can see things and I'm not pulling it outside of the scope of view. And so that was my own error. Right? If you are looking at it, it's quite literally, and even if you make a mistake, okay, oops, I tried to put it in backwards, it doesn't fit there, you pull it out. So your 5-second blade switch just turned to 8 seconds.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's, still faster than anything else.
Yep.
So it is still a really, really cool thing. Just working with Telbo, they aren't paying anything, more like field research, if anything. Oh, okay. I thought you were like going to them as an employee paid type of thing. My bad, man. Right on, right on. Well, you're in the trade, so carrying a blade makes a whole lot of sense for you as well. But I get it.
So Monday, impress your coworkers. Show them your favorite. Get them to subscribe.
Yeah, that would be appreciated. Just don't show them your knife. Don't you show a picture of it. Show it a picture. Don't listen to Chris. You're going to wind up on the unemployment line. Evening, gentlemen. Evening, Mr. Mouse. Good to see you.
TC Blade snuck in before that too.
I said hello to TC
Oh,
Blades.
did you? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Well, you know what? That's because you're old and you have Alzheimer's.
It's true.
Oh, that's fantastic. So let's see. Um, so we were talking before about blade finishes, and so we got blade shapes, and then we were talking about blade steels and blade finishes, and I think we just kind of lost that conversation completely because I can't even remember
Yeah.
anybody talking about blade steels. And I know already a few answers in here or where they're going to come and who's going to say what. Fairly certain that if I'm not mistaken, somebody like Robert Jones is going to say something like 15B.
Mm.
So,
Well, it's not in circulation, so you know
can you repeat that? You
that.
kind of like cut. You muted for a second, or you cut out for a
Oh,
second.
gotcha. No, 15V isn't in circulation any longer. They're not making any more of it. So, and unfortunately, it didn't start getting good until the Big Brown Bear put out his heat treat protocols, and that's what Spyderco shifted to, and then it became awesome. Yeah,
Crewware,
Robert, there we go. I'm a Crewware lover. I'm a Van X lover.
Van X. Okay, okay, okay. 4V in DLC, 18-degree hollow grind. Now we're talking.
There you go.
All right.
I like 4V. Sam does not.
Sam does not, but on DLC, Sam just likes it just fine.
Yeah, be protected. K90, there you go. K3 and Crewware, agreed. I like those.
K390, we got another K390. Okay, okay. K390, that's going to be more of a thinner edged blade profile, if I'm not mistaken, Chris. You're a metallurgist
Yeah,
studier.
in training, yeah, in metallurgy kindergarten.
I can't
Yeah,
cut
K3
Jello.
K390 does make, yeah, you can make it very thin behind the edge. Yeah, you can get that down to 13, 14 degrees and be fine.
Oh. Hey, Chris, he wants you to overnight his brackets to him, and
Um,
and you're gonna have to address it to his wife.
yeah, and 3V is life. I like 3V a lot too.
Robert
So
Jones is M398.
3.8 is really good too. If edge retention alone is what you're looking for, I've got an Arius and M398, and I don't cut very much with it. I use my M390 Arius a bunch, but the M398 I've not done a lot with, but it does have extraordinary edge retention. You sacrifice for some toughness on an already not so tough platform.
Yeah, I have my Arius is an M398, and then Chris, what did I just buy that's M398?
I would have thought just, yeah, your Arius is all that I can think of.
No, no, it hasn't even come yet. Was it? It's not the Crya. Is the Crya M398 or
I don't
was it?
think so.
Or was
No,
the
I don't think Bestech's doing anything with that yet.
No, that's crap. I'm trying to remember what the other thing is
Yo, you
that
just
I
ordered it, yeah, last night or the night before, right? You were like, um,
is it the Mini Lanza?
maybe.
Hang on a second here. No, that's 20 CV. I'm getting one of those. That's coming in 20 CV. So,
I have to go back and look at our chats to see what you sent.
I know I ordered something, and I could have sworn that it was um and yeah, it is the Crya. The Best Tech
What's that?
Crya
Is it an
is in
M398?
M398.
Wow. Okay.
So there you go. There you go.
I didn't realize they were doing it yet.
I couldn't remember. I don't have a whole lot purchase wise that is on its way to me, but I knew something was there because I remember sitting there going, "Oh, it's M398."
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, we've been naming some upscale steels. I've been in the cutting that I've done, and I've not done a ton, and I've not resharpened it yet. But the 19C28 that Migron's putting out is, I'm the little bit that I've done with it, I'm thinking I hope that becomes the new standard for budget because it's fantastic. What do we got? Loki say?
Prototype was in a steel I'm not a fan of. Super tough, but like no edge retention. 8670 is great and horrible at the same time.
Mm.
Your
Yeah.
your prototype is, because of the blade stock on it, I think it's probably not a bad choice in that sense, right? Yeah, you're going to have to sharpen it more, but it needs to be able, like, that thing is a bruiser. Like, I think you can probably field dress a Buick with that thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you really kind of need to have it super tough because that's the type of knife that you're really
You
pounding
will
through.
abuse.
Yeah,
And
you're really
and
beating the hell out of it.
and you can probably it'll probably hold a working edge really, for a good time or good
Yeah,
period of time. It's not going to be shaved for very long, but and if you're out in the field, you can find a rock to sharpen it on.
that's true. That is true. You could get a good limestone edge off of that for sure. Mama Loot, thanks for coming in and hanging out. Always
Good night.
appreciated it. And you have a great night, and we'll catch up with you soon. Let's see here. Let's see here.
Robert Jones said that. Oh, go ahead.
Had great experience with 3V, 10V, 20CV. I carry them most by far. S35 has been very slightly, but no luck with edge retention. Sounds about accurate there.
Yeah.
Um, I think from a perspective of, so let me see. Design number 2 is coming in LMAX. We were trying to get S45V in, and that has proven to be a challenge out there. You know that
Which is
only
crazy.
one what's that?
Which is crazy. That S45 is a challenge because again, it was a fad a couple of years ago where it seemed like everybody was doing it.
Um, and funny enough, I mean, it's just, it doesn't make it. It really didn't make any sense. But nevertheless, it was still proving to be a challenge concept. Kubi, Best Tech, and Riot were the 4 companies that I went to for design number 2 for pricing. And I think Riot was the only company that came back. No, Concept was the only company that came back able to do S45VN.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of them were like, no, I can't really do it.
You
Yeah.
look at Ilmax and S45VN, they're fairly compatible um, from a balance perspective. I think that S45 is a little tougher, and I think that S45 will do they both have like medium-sized carbides, so that you can get a good feeling edge on them. I think Ilmax has a lot more carbides, though, if I'm not mistaken, which can tend to make it dull a little bit faster or become a little less tough. And
Mm-hmm.
so but yeah, Gunwell James, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to playing with mine and sharpening it up a little bit. I made a mistake. I ordered is it Carrot? Is that how you pronounce the Megaron? They have the Solora and the
Yeah, the
Carrick.
Carrick, and then there's the Solora, and then there's the Hover.
Yeah, I don't have the Hover, but I ordered all three of my Carricks in D2, and so I meant to get, but the Solora is a 19C. Yeah,
Dragoon, you're absolutely 100% correct on that. As a matter of
yeah,
fact, so Chris had his Dixon since last year's Blade Show,
yeah.
and he wound up sending it to
Duty's
uh,
daggers.
Moody's Daggers, right?
Mhm.
And he put it through its paces. You know, he did his whole cut testing thing and all that kind of stuff. Um, really thorough. I like when Duty does a full test on things. I mean, he really does abuse that pretty well, put it through its paces. And I mean, he didn't really need to sharpen it. I mean, he stropped it back, I think, once, right? On that video, if I remember, Chris.
Yeah, yeah. When he was done, I mean, he didn't.
Yeah,
And I've
it
not.
performed the entire time. It's phenomenal.
It,
I think it might be the best performing Magna Cut on the market right now.
it's the best that I've seen, and I've not sharpened it. I mean, we used it a ton in our cut tests, you know, with comparing it to the Gracchus.
That's awesome.
What did that say? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, I'm glad it takes a great edge because all I can give it is a bad edge.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
uh, yeah, I haven't. Well, I mean, I have 19C here, right? I have the Solora. I haven't like put it through any paces yet or anything like that to test it out. I haven't tried to sharpen it back or anything. So I don't know. James, I know you do a lot of the sharpening stuff, so that makes a whole lot of sense as far as that goes. And if you're saying it takes a great edge, I believe that. I think Migaron is doing an exceptional job right now in how they have approached treating heat treating things this year. They've really kind of revisited that and made sure that their stuff is on point. And but 19C is I haven't seen it from anybody else but Migaron right now.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I think Zach said that Night X is something that he wants to look at. I've not seen that yet, so I'm not familiar with it, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I haven't either. But
I like Nitro V. You know, again, it's one of those that very, very small amount of carbides, you know, very small size, you know, of them. You know, it can get super thin, and you can take it down to, I mean, they make razor blades out of it, you know, at times, right? Or you can get almost razor blade thin. So again, man, that's a great one. But again, it's one of those that just doesn't hold an edge particularly long, which is why I wanted to see the 19C take over as the new standard. I think that I love Nitro V and 14C, but it looks like 19C is going to do much better.
Nitro V can hit 63, 64, but it requires a cryo treat, very regulated tempering. Not to mention 63, 64 is going to be chippy. Nitro V is best high 60, 61 area for retention and toughness.
Yeah. And Volt, I can shoot you some information on some strops. And quite honestly, what I would do, and I'll ship you one if you want, I get like bought like a pack of basswood off Amazon, and I just put diamond emulsion on those directly, and I strop on it. That way, you don't get any kind of rolling. Stays flat and fairly hard, but pulls the burr. And I think that 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 has made my stropping a whole lot better than what I was doing when I was using cowhide, and I bought some kangaroo, and it does really well too. But the basswood does probably just as good as anything else.
Yeah, I have a kangaroo one, and I think more than anything is that diamond emulsion stuff though is has made a world of difference.
Oh yeah,
I was using those stupid sticks, the smudge sticks
yeah,
on there, and I mean, you just do not get a great strop on that, and it's a
it,
mess. And that diamond
yeah,
emulsion squirt on there is really
does
good
great.
stuff.
Yeah, I I use Lacey's. We pick it up off Blade Bench. You know, she's on there. And I really like Stroppy stuff a lot. I think what he has is outstanding.
Stroppy stuff is the stuff I use. I haven't tried Lacey's stuff, but I've heard good things, so
Yeah,
I'm sure that it's more than adequate. I don't not knocking it, just haven't needed to do it. I haven't
yeah.
needed to buy more. I have 3 bottles of it still.
I I use her. Oh, I forget what you call it, but essentially the suspension stuff. That you put on stones, and
Yeah,
then it helps to keep a slurry, so you're not running a whole bunch of metal right back over the top of your knife blade. So it does a good job. Yeah, I, she's a fraction of the price of everybody else's stuff too. And one of the things that she does is she prides herself on she's wanting to drive down the cost in the market. And tell you what, Volt, that's another one too. If you went to look at Lacey's stuff, she sells the basswood like I'm talking about, and then she cuts them in half. Hers are in 6 inches versus 12, but then she puts a piece of cowhide on one side, so you get a leather on one side, then it gives you 3 sides of wood to strap onto.
there's one that Neves he doesn't sell, but he suggested it. It's on Amazon.
Beavercraft.
Yeah, Beavercraft. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. They make pretty good strops as
Mhm.
well, especially for the price. Like you know,
Yeah.
they're not expensive. But Loki 154 cm is a great steel, and I don't consider it a low tier steel. I think is it
It's it's well balanced.
yeah, but not only that, but when you look at it at a manufacturing level, so OEMs, when you're OEMing a knife, 154 cm is right there next to S35 VN on their lists.
It's a high performing ingot still. It's not powder metallurgy, and it that's why it's not inexpensive and oftentimes lumped in the budget stuff. Even though it's a good performer, it's not expensive to manufacture. It doesn't wear on the equipment, as they're making it. It doesn't tear up tooling. It doesn't go through belts like crazy. So that's why it's right there. It's balanced, but it's not expensive to manufacture.
Um, Rebel Rouser, TS Prof is absolutely fantastic. KME is really good as well. As far as if you're looking for like fixed blade systems, they are right up there as well with as far as really good fixed blade
Uh,
or
you, I would, you've got there's a couple of different technologies that are coming out right now that I think are going to be really good. You've got a linear bearing, and oh, I forget the other one. Continuous angle, I think, is what it's called. And so, if you have a drop point, or even like the Gracchus, where it's got a lot of belly, the continuous angle, it has an automatic built-in system where it slides across the belly, keeping you at the full consistent angle all the way through. So it will make sharpening a whole lot easier. I'm currently using the Work Sharp whatever their premium one is. And I really like it a lot. It comes with all the stones they have, as well as the resin bonded as well. And so it I like it a bunch because at my place space is important, and the fact that it's vertical and it takes up, not much space at all. And the TS Prof I love. I think it's phenomenal. But the downside with it is it takes up a lot of space, man. It's huge. So for me, space was important, and so I was willing to sacrifice, a slight amount of quality for that. Plus, the Work Sharp has spent a little bit of extra money, but you can buy an add-on, so it'll take 4-inch or 6-inch stones from just about anybody. And I really enjoyed that. I've got a KME as well, but now I almost do everything on the Work Sharp. It's like $480 or something like that for the entire kit.
I think the TS Prof Pioneer is a smaller system. I could have sworn that one was a little bit smaller as far as a fixed angle system goes. And if I'm not mistaken, right now they're on sale too, and I want to say they were like sub $300 right now.
Yeah.
So if you've got the space for it, and you need one, that might be a really, really good system for you to get. Josh, 14C has stood the test of time, and yes, it is still a fantastic steel.
Mm-hmm.
I say this, and I probably have said this the last couple of weeks on here, right? Rewind 10 years ago, and D2 was the super steel still, right? There's absolutely nothing. Like you're 100% saying the truth. 14C is fantastic. So you know what? I got a question for you guys. So I was talking to Russell at Artisan Cutlery, and he was talking about when he was doing a knife with Ray Laconico, and he said that they did 3 different tiers of knives. They did like a cheap G10 version with like, probably the ARM P9 or whatever their proprietary steel is, their 14C, something like that, a lower cost steel. And then they did a higher cost, which was like M390 titanium, the whole ordeal. And then they did a mid tier, which was like 14C with titanium handles. And they said that the mid tier knives did horrible, that they barely sold any mid tiers, and that they're reluctant to do a combo knife of mid tier and premium materials together because they don't sell well. So I ask you guys that question is, would you be interested in something that is premium-ish, if you will, right? Has a really nice handle, but is not, a super steel or a modern super steel, I should say. If you got titanium handles with the D2, or you got titanium handles with 154 cm or 14C or something like that, is that something that would be up your alley? Or would that be like, I'm not spending, I don't know, $130 for a knife that has titanium handles but and lower tier steel? So curious what you guys think. Chris, new colorway on Wyvern swag.
This is a one-off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
Chris
you
is
guys
wearing a
like it.
one-off. I'm wearing a one-off right now, but I have been looking at doing some additional colors and a couple of, and possibly another design as well for some swag. So stay tuned for that, Deadhead. I'm in the midst of looking through that. It's just that I have to get rid of some of the swag that we have because I have quite a bit of t-shirt inventory in place right now. And if we don't sell some of those, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to start adding a whole bunch more to the pile.
The the space is limited at the Wyvern Kodiak worldwide headquarters. So
Yeah,
we're
the
bursting at the seams.
I'm absolutely bursting at the seams. As a matter of fact, I'm half panicked when the production run of Gracchus show up here, and I'm actually gonna have to redo part of the office here so that I can create space for everything and make sense. So yeah, it is
So
definitely on the mind.
yeah, but yeah, it is pretty cool. There's a lot of recommendations came in for sharpening systems too, which is pretty cool. Gunmetal
Mhm.
James talked about his. I think that the little squirt was one that was brought up. I think there's so many different options out there, and I think we're at this place where things are starting to explode.
What
Is
do you
mid
mean?
grade? That's fair. Just because you've got the fixed angled system, you've got linear
Oh,
bearings, the
I see
continuous
what you mean
angle.
now.
The
Okay, okay, okay.
technology is really beginning to evolve, and then you've got Hapstone and TS Prof, and you get all these amazing. Like we've seen two new stone types pop up in the last 4 years. Yeah, and so again, it's really cool everything that we're seeing.
All right. Well, I'm seeing an awful lot of 154 cm
Mm-hmm.
answers in here.
Well, you brought
Um,
that up, and as one, and I think agree. I think everybody's right. It's good stuff.
no, and that's what I'm saying, right? Is when you OEM a knife, they don't list it in the budget category of things,
Yeah,
right? Like to them, if you want budget, you're talking about 3CR and stuff like that. You're talking about the real lower tier, right? Then you have mid lower tier, which is where D2 is falling and 14C
14C.
is
Yeah,
falling right
Nitro
now.
V. Yeah,
All right. And then you have the upper mid, or I should say the middle lower tier, which is where you have 154 cm. That's where you have AEBL. That's where you have S35 VN living. Like this is where their tiers are falling. And that's when you get, after you get through those, that's when you hop up that next level. And that's when you
mm-hmm.
get into the L Maxes and you get into the S45s and the M390s, 20 CVs, and all that kind of stuff. And then you have like the super tier, which is your Magna Cuts and your Vanex. And I'm guessing now like your Magna Max.
Yeah,
I have not priced, looked at, or anything like that. 15V, but I do know that or not 15V. I'm sorry, 3V. But I know that because of how much it costs to produce, because of how much material they have to go through belt wise and grinding and all that other stuff on these things, there are some mid-tier steels that cost more because of it. So there are those things to consider. And
yeah,
you're correct. D2 did not stop being great. It has been treated by the masses is where it's gone south. Many companies put out D2s that were butter and it's ruined D2. Exactly right. And that's why Migaron right now, I'm so happy for what they're doing because they've actually paid attention to that. Right.
yeah.
Uh, Premium Kubi Drake in M390 and love it. Heck yeah, man. It's a good knife. Um,
I think Mr. Mouse said something too about brought up kangaroo being good for stropping, and it is. It's like it's super dense, and then it has all these little bitty microscopic pores that just grab the burr and rip it. So when you're stropping, a lot of times, as I'm going through and I'm pushing into the wood, it doesn't cave at all. But if I did this to leather, where leather one go? If I'm doing this like on a leather, now it can roll my edge. And so, because as you push in and you do it, you can turn your edge over the top of it. It grabs, it rolls, whatever. you don't get that same thing when you use a denser surface, and that's why I really like the basswood and Volt. This is what I did. I've got two different um, oh shoot, help me, my words
Dropping
are
compounds.
yeah, stropping compounds. I couldn't get it out. But I actually took my knife, found where it was comfortable. I took a knife, I actually cut the edges around and then filed that down so it fits in my hand well. And then that's just what I'm using. And so I really, really like the basswood for stropping.
I myself would prefer the opposite. Better blade steel, cheap ass scales. I'll get my Carta scales made.
There you go.
And I'm not even saying that we wouldn't do something like that. I'm saying, I mean, if we're gonna go with one direction or the other, we're always going to offer some options in the handles and stuff like that if we're going to put it down in that range. It's not to say we wouldn't put micarta scales out there or something G10 or something like that. Just curious if there's a market that's sensible for mid-tier things. Because, like I said, having this conversation with people in the industry, they're saying that they didn't have much luck with it. And I'm not really in the idea of trying to guinea pig for things, see if it's makes a market for it.
Yeah.
Eh, I'm kind of with you, John. I don't want to oil and wax them either, but at the same time, it's so damn easy, man. It takes 10 seconds, and it's not like you have to do it weekly. You're talking about it. You're talking about a every couple months type of scenario there.
Well, I think it depends,
Where
right?
you
Like,
live.
yeah, like Dragoon may have to do it more often than you or I for a couple reasons. One, the environment in which he lives. Two, the kind of job he does. Like our knives sit in a climate controlled building all the time inside of cases. And so, they're less likely to rust. But you're right. I throw on some wicked wax or something like that across my blade, and I don't have to worry about it again for quite some time.
Yeah, well, like you said, we're in the Midwest, and so that's true. And I know John is in Texas because he lives not, but I think maybe a couple of hours from Dallas, if I remember. When I met up with him there, so
So he's
um,
constantly sweat on a knife sitting in his pocket. Yeah, it makes sense.
true. Donnie Bless up in
What's
the
up, man?
house. What's going on, D Money?
We were talking about you earlier. You got
Yeah, man.
a bunch of customers in here wanting to buy something from you.
His answer is going to be show me the money. Just
Yeah.
saying.
She said, "Go ahead and send it to me. I'll make it."
Well, I mean, he posted one earlier today. Like I said, I think it was a Ripley that he posted on Instagram. Said DM him if you're interested.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in a laser ghost knife, reach out to Donnie because I don't know if it's spoken for already or not, but it's he definitely had the knife posting, so it's pretty
Matt
cool.
Matt typed "show me the money" in a way that I went straight to Tom Cruise shouting it out.
You know what they say about a huge strop? Yeah, it makes my blade look small.
Yeah. Got two-sider on that one. That's the first one I
Definitely,
made.
Chris is definitely compensating. Don't worry.
I definitely had strop envy and fixed that.
Oh, that's hilarious. I normally don't buy expensive knives. I've gotten a few, but my expensive is somewhere else. Just play money for sure. Yeah, and I get it. Get it. There and you know what? Mr. Mouse says it right. Always another level.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris and I can go through our collection and pull out several 4-digit knives easily. and sit there and say this one was well over $1,000. I've got a couple in my collection that are, over 1,500 in there, right? But then you look at some of these other folks that have some real crazy customs, and you're talking about thousands,
Yeah,
tens of thousands. There was one at Blade Show Atlanta that was $100,000 knife. I was like, that's a pocket knife, folks.
yeah, it's interesting that popped up. So in the last couple days, I've had a content idea rattle around in my head, and I started to lay out some stuff. Oh, good night,
Rabble
Rebel
Rouser,
Rouser.
have a good night, man. Appreciate you hanging out tonight, dude.
And I took a $60 knife and went, and this is a really good cutter. I really enjoy using it. It's functional and capable. And then I pulled out a knife twice that amount, and I said, what do I get for that? For doubling the price. And then that made me go grab another knife that doubled that price, and then another one that doubled that one, and then another one that doubled that one. And so now I've got this content idea that's rattling around of what do we expect out of at each price tier? Like what should we expect? Because the Kunwus of the world have really made outstanding knives fairly affordable. Yeah, I think that, and that's really one of the things that I was weighing on is that, that today we look at things and we're talking about blade steel types and we're talking about handle material types and we're looking at those things and going, they're just ingredients, right? Like if you give Chef Ramsay 10 ingredients and you give Chris Jarrett 10 ingredients, you're not getting the same meal, and I think that that's the same thing that happens when we look at the bill of materials and say this is a good knife or not a good knife. No, it can be a garbage knife with great materials.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think, and that's really what kind of led me down that path. And I started looking at, like I said, 5 different knives and going, oh, I get I'm double my price. What am I buying? And I really started to plot out. There are multiple margins of diminishing return. If I buy a $60 knife or a $600 knife, I don't get 10 times the cutting performance on the $600 knife, right? And nor do I get, but I might get 10 times the experience or 10 times the feeling of it.
That's what I was going to say, Chris. I was going to say, but if you get more pleasure out of the knife from a mechanical soul perspective, does that make up value for you?
Yeah, because there's an element. I'm buying more than a cutting tool at that point, right? And I think that's really where I was going. So I've been kicking around this idea for the last couple of days. It's been resonating. Yeah, I've been thinking that through.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Mouse, the knives that we're talking about, I mean, production.
I've got a Rosie XL that meets that.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that does meet that to a degree, but it's not readily available as say a KB knife or a Kunwu knife or a Remet knife or something like that. My collection knives that are over 1,000. I got a couple Blauroks. I have a limited edition Koenig Arius. That is, I think there are only 30 of them made. I have. I know I have more. I'm just trying to think. Oh, my Hog House Velu, which I guess isn't a production knife. Yeah, I guess you're kind of onto something there. I mean, there's a couple. Like Chris has a Talon. I guess that's production.
Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knives in my hands that are all over $1,000 that I would say Lamia, I mean, that's production, right? I
No, it's
mean,
not.
he's not customizing these, is he? Everyone's
No,
not
he's not.
custom.
He's not
Or,
customizing them, but they're not. They're not coming out like. Yeah.
yeah, I
If
mean,
you have
mid tech, but
if you have to enter lotteries to get these knives, if you have to enter lotteries or you have to auction for a position or something like that, I don't consider them production.
yeah, you know, I mean, here would be one that, the skiff.
The skiff, that's the
Yeah,
fugitive, right?
yeah. And so I think this one's a little bit different because I think he does them all by himself, one at a time.
John wants to know if you'll adopt.
No, you don't want to be adopted. I don't have any inheritance that all went into knives. So, um,
Yeah, Herman's another one volt.
oh yeah,
Um, right. You're exactly right. It's what is that production? That's the thing. You kind of have to sit there and
yeah,
kind of draw a line in the sand and say what is a production, right? For me, production is off the shelf. I can go and readily buy it almost at all. Can't say at all times. I can't sit there and say like it never sells out, right? I'm holding
you're not
something.
you're not ordering from Blade HQ whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding a Taipan, and these things have sold out 3 times over. They keep producing more. I mean, this is a production
Yeah,
knife. Let's face that. But Rosie, you have to enter a drawing, a lottery just to get a chance at it. You have to
yeah,
be picked for a Grimsmo, a Lamia. When he does drops, which aren't often, good luck if you're not one of the first few people there to get one in the first 30 seconds.
yeah.
All
It
those.
it is nice.
You
It
call the
is.
same thing for like the Cerberus, right? I mean, even though
Yeah.
even though they're not necessarily being custom made, they are absolutely 100% not what I would consider production knives.
Well, blow me up on the Lamia real quick because there are a couple guys saying that they like these. Uh, it it's not picking up on my keyboard, but that really fine step milling in the blade. I mean, Alex did a really, really nice job with this. That's for sure. I
Yeah, he's
think,
super talented.
yeah,
Gorgeous knife.
this one's an Ilmax. I've got to get the action dialed in a little bit. It's a little bit stiff. But yeah, it it's a nice knife, and I use it. It's an outstanding cutter. I really enjoy using it. Again, I'm not heavy using it. I yeah. When the trash goes out, I break down boxes. Trade you
Now
Kaiser.
got jokes.
Um,
Trade you a Kaiser.
is it a hawk? Because I like hawks. Um, Matter of fact, got one right here.
I was just gonna say you have a hawk.
Yeah, I don't have the black one, and they're sold out.
I have a black one. I can work on that with you, man.
Yeah, you'll give me the black one for my Lamia.
No,
Um,
I would trade you for something reasonable. I'm not going to be a jerk like
yeah.
that.
No, which how by the way is an S45.
The black one is not, if I'm mistaken.
Really?
Hang on a second. Dan Stan, good to see you, man. Um, Let me see here. The black one. Hang on. I need some light here.
Yeah, because they wrote it on the blade, didn't they?
Yeah. M390 on the black one.
Okay. And then S45 on the satin.
By the way. I mean,
And
that thing
yeah,
is that thing is scary fast. Like, thank God it has a flipper tab to block that from cutting my finger every single time.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah. It's phenomenal. It just,
this thing is
yeah,
bonkers.
yeah. I don't know how they did it. I've not taken mine apart yet. Usually I take them, usually about anything that comes from China, I pull apart right away and clean up, get all the old oil out and put my own stuff in.
I got this in a trade on Blade Binge, and it was because I just did not want what I was getting rid of. And I can't even remember what it was that I traded, but I just remember that when I got this, I was like, holy crap, this thing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's a great knife, but honestly, it's a semi-mirror polished DLC blade with crazy action, and other than fidgeting it, I have zero use for it.
Mr. Mouse asks Holt or Herman, and I would say they're very different experiences. If you're an acoustics guy, I would definitely go with Herman. If you want smoothness, I think the Holt is smoother. It's so tough because again, they're different experiences.
Yeah, they did make a K390, James, on the Lamia, and when he did the drop for it, people were throwing stupid amounts of money at Alex for him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a good knife.
I will send me the Lamia, and I'll send you 2 Hawks.
There you go. So I've got a Holt here. Man, it's so elegant and it's so incredibly smooth.
Yeah. So your Holt does such good work. I mean, it's phenomenal.
I can't feel the bearings at all. I can't hear them. The only other knife I have that's that way are my Grimsmos.
Paul says action Holt, cool factor Herman.
That's fair.
I guess. I don't know. Dragoon, is the Strix all it's cracked up to be? 100,000%. This knife is, in my opinion.
Let me finish your thought. It's one of the few knives that's less expensive than it sells for far less than what it should.
Yeah. I think it is. It hits way above its price range when you're talking about primary purchase, right? Straight from dealer type of thing, not secondary market. I bought this on the second new, and I was able to. I only paid like a $20 premium on this, which I would gladly paid for, and still feel like I got a great deal on it at $400, I think maybe I paid for this.
Yeah, and so, I think that is so. I've got a $200 an Archer that's $200 more here.
I have an Archer. You have the flipperless Archer, right?
Yeah, I have the flipperless one. I think the Strix is a far super. Now this is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really like this a lot. But I think the Strix is better.
Different knife.
Yeah. But I think the Strix is a much better knife at $200 less. I think it's better in every way. Looks, feel, cutting performance, every way. I think that's a superior knife. I think the action feels better.
Yeah, Dragoon, if you're getting the same one that I have right now, which is the micro milled titanium version, I would say, first off, when I got it, I needed to clean it, and that was about the only thing that really needed to get done. Now I put skiffs in mine, but it was really not necessary. This thing is insane. I mean, it is just absolutely ridiculous. It is phenomenal. So,
So I've got a
Robin, you
Shiro.
said when you spared down on, I do not feel it. So that is an individualized ergonomics thing, Robin. And Chris and I have talked about that a bunch of times, right? Because him and I have, when you put our hands together like this, we're literally like, the same size hands. But his ergos and mine are totally different from each other's. And so what he feels is comfortable is not comfortable to me, and vice versa in a lot of cases. A lot of cases it is, but a lot of cases we find things uncomfortable that the other does find comfortable. So that's a very varying statement there. I'll just say that. So you are not necessarily wrong, but it's it's subjective and it's an individual thing. So you have to feel it from hand to hand. That's the best way to do it.
I've got the Shiro, and everybody talks about the action on them, and it is good, but it takes a while to get past the detent. I've got to get to there to get past the detent ball for it to start dropping. So it requires a lot on the drop. Right there, it's not. I'm not past the detent ball. Right there is where I finally go past it, and
Are
it'll
you
drop.
serious?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, so when I design something, okay, my requirement for the detent is that the detent, breaking the detent cannot be further than 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. What you're holding up right there is far beyond 20 degrees. That's damn close to 45.
Now, if I just have to push beyond that.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
And it feels great, but yeah, it's further than I have to go on any other of my, I would say, premium knives.
Yeah, John, I get that. It's one of those things where, if you don't, you are taking a risk. And I mean, you got to be willing to either, resell it or return it if you're going from a retailer or something like that. So I mean, it's just depends. You can have a detent ramp added easily.
I'll send it your way.
There you go. That's
yeah, because I do have, the Archer has a great one. So yeah, and it, I mean, I took it apart today, and their ramp is aggressive.
Yeah, Paul says that they usually drop like a Grimsmo. So I'm wondering.
Well, this is the Shiro. The Holt does.
Oh, I guess that's true, right? Holtz. He said Holt. I don't know why you were holding the Shiro a minute ago, and that was what was on the brain.
Yeah, so this drops a little slower, but it might not be dialed in. My Grimsmo is, to get my fingers out of the way. I mean, it drops kind of like what you're showing your Hawk. I don't have to do anything for that. And then the Rask is a little bit slower, but not by much. My Holt is a much more controlled drop.
Dragoon, your McNeese has a light detent. Dude, my Dixon has such a stiff detent on it that, wow, holy crap, that just damn near made me deaf, by the way.
That has such an amazing lockup.
But this thing, no joke, I've actually misfired on this thing a few times because the detent actually had me slip off of the blade hole while I was flicking it. So I'm pretty shocked to hear that because I have not heard anybody say anything about a light detent on a McNeese.
Yeah, and I got an Aries here, and it's about the same as my Dixon. As far as, I mean, it takes a fair amount of preload to get some pressure on that thing to get it out. So,
Yeah, yeah. I was talking about Paul to Chris earlier because he was admiring one of Paul's posts today on
yeah,
a Pictus that he did an anno job on. So
yeah, I like that a
um,
lot. Well, thanks, Don. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
Paul does beautiful work, man. I mean, everything that I've seen him do as far as studs, snipping flippers, anno work. I've seen him do what do you call it? Stone washing and stuff like that. Like he does some really, really nice stuff. So, and I know he's not super expensive either. He's a reasonably priced modder. So, you know,
Oh,
somebody to certainly consider for sure. Appreciate
yeah,
the kudos or the suggestion on that, Donnie.
absolutely. And
Um,
yeah, yeah, Paul, I really admire the work that you do. I really enjoy watching what you put out. It's really sweet.
uh, Little Dixon has a brutal D10. Another one you tried was fairly light. Wow, inconsistency on D10. That's doesn't seem very Jonathan McNeese like. But
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, all the ones that I handled, but it's not like I went up and down the line and handled every one of them. I handled a couple of them at Blade Show, and they were all very stiff detents. But I keep bothering Jonathan because I told him that if he wants me to buy a Little Dixon from him, he needs to make one with dragon scales because I want the mini Dixon or the little Dixon or whatever the hell it is called. I want one to match the full size one that I have.
Trish, are you still in here?
Chris, who?
I said, Trish.
Oh,
Uh,
Trish. Trish. I thought you
yeah.
said Chris. I was like, Chris,
Well,
who?
I was going to ask because maybe Dragoon needs to send it in to him to let him, work on it. I know that he does repair jobs and the adjustments on the stuff. I don't know if Trish was here, I'm sure that she could get it taken care of very, very easily.
Dragoon says he'll send it to you, and then you can mess with it.
Yeah, I'm willing to. He just wants my address so he can come rob me of my Gracchus.
That's what it is. Send it to the PO box. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll mess with it, but I was thinking that you could get it straight to McNeese, and Trish might be able to get it something set up to get that worked on to get the D10 exactly where you want it.
Yeah. I haven't had any issues with the D10. Obviously on mine, the ones that I felt, heck, even the Mac 2s that I handled had stiff as hell D10s on them. Those were all hard fires on them. Makes sense. Dragoons showing. Let's see here. Rob's Nerdy Knives up in the house. What's going on,
What's up,
Rob?
Rob?
Appreciate you coming in, dude. Good to see you. You're kind of on the very tail end of the show. We're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, but do appreciate you coming in and hanging with us for a little while, buddy.
It's too bad you didn't get her earlier. Tonight's content would have just shaped the very fabric of your existence.
Yeah, I think we probably nerded out a bit tonight. So we were definitely in the basking in the Rob's Nerdy Knives aura.
Right in your territory, yeah. Modding knives and making some adjustments.
So Yeah, we were talking about different handle materials that you would want to see, because everybody has titanium handles and carbon fiber handles, G10 and all that stuff. Is there any material that is just different, right? Like we've had some real interesting suggestions, glass micarta and stuff like that. Like, um, what was the other one? Backlight.
Yep.
So it's we're just coming up with some suggestions, not necessarily saying we're acting on them, but um, giving some inspiration for some ideas of cool things that we can do in the future, and then what blade shapes you might want to see. So obviously we've got the hybrid blade shapes like the Gracchus. We've got our next knife coming out, which is kind of a hybrid as well, I would say. And then our third knife coming out is going to be a sheep's footy, worn cliffy type of blade. And then we have a clip point that's going to be made with artisan cutlery. And we have a full worn cliff being made with concept. So just kind of curious. Right now, everybody, the big thing that everybody said was whether it was one blade shape or the other, the consistency was a whole lot of people wanted harpoon. So food for thought. Would love to hear from everybody. If anybody wasn't here earlier in the show and wants to throw out some suggestions, we're certainly willing to hear that out. I'm always thinking that's a cool thing. Whoops, my bad. Kieranite. Kieranite looks good. Okay. Kieranite is a interesting suggestion. Not one that you see a whole lot of. I have seen some, but very cool.
Rob came out with a
Antique
bunch.
paper butterscotch micarta, glass fat carbon. I like that one a lot. Natural waxed burlap micarta, Dunes carbon fiber. Dunes carbon fiber is cool also. I like that. I'm not a big micarta fan, but I will say that I do like the natural waxed burlap micarta. I think that's really cool. And I like denim micarta, like certain denim micartas, if they're done right and they get a good cut, like I really like them.
Mr. Mouse at 1201.
I'm looking. Mr. Mouse. Horny for warning. Oh, that's hilarious, dude.
Dragoon's got a good suggestion too.
We need a Wicked Cleaver style fixed blade design primarily with utility use in mind, but in an EDC package. Okay. Okay.
What would you use your cleaver for in an EDC?
Yeah. That's a good question, Chris. Because the first thing you've trained me at this point where I mean immediately I'm going, what am I cutting with it? And so I guess that's where my question lies, because now I'm starting to think about what kind of grind and edge, what steel I'm using, and so on and so forth. But interesting thought.
And bolts, give me the dark blade benches dark mode. I love the dark mode stuff. That is by far my favorite when you start looking at all the non-metallic surfaces. That's my favorite.
I am not. I like black. So like the ones that they did, what was the one that they did? Was it the Raiden, the Null Raiden that they did early on where they didn't have the carbon fiber? It was black with just the like Tiffany blue accents on it.
I think Vero did one too, and it's just like Tiffany blue only, and I don't like it at all.
No, no, no. I didn't like that either. I did a review on that one. That was the Avid 2. I mean, I like the knife. I didn't like the finish on it. The
Yeah,
knife itself was actually fantastic.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I know I agree with you. I'm not big on the carbon fiber stuff like that. But at the same time, I will say this: design number 2, Chris and I ordered prototypes in dark mode style. And the reason why is because we plan to send one off to Blade Binge and try and get them to do a dark mode with us, because I would absolutely love to do a dark mode. I know Chris would too, because he loves the colorway, and it would just be super cool to be able to get one of our knives featured on Blade Binge. So
yeah. I've
we'll
got
see if
5
it
or
happens.
6 dark modes. Yeah,
If you do a harpoon, let this be as subtle and proportional to accent it depending upon the other shape. I like a sponto with a harpoon,
yeah,
but not officially a sponto, so hinderer comes after you.
yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah. Um let's see. What I think harpoon probably crossed over several blade shapes to marry it earlier, right? I saw harpoon spear, I saw harpoon tanto, um, I saw a couple other ones too. A lot of people just saying harpoon or poon. So, duly noted, Rob.
Yeah.
Chopping up weed cleaver. Dude, just go to the gas station and get a grinder like everybody else. Uh, love a nice cleaver style blade. Okay, so we're seeing cleaver
And a
popping up.
couple.
I guess that's
And Dragoon talked about that 1205, what his application is.
love the Madrick by Kaiser. Dude, the Madrick is a really, really good knife. I really, really dig it. I did not get one in for review. I handled several different versions of it in Atlanta, and they were giving them out as prizes at the Kaiser dinner that night. So a few people were getting them, and I was able to handle a couple that were given away that night, and it's a really nice knife. It reminds me like of a cleaver version of their T1. So a very, very cool knife. Actually, it's a cleaver version of like their Warning. So very, very cool knife though. Tonto Little Dixon. Mm, okay. I guess I'm missing something. Um,
Little
um,
Dixon, but in a Tonto shape.
Crystal Titanium. So, well, I'm not opposed to Crystal Titanium. Here's where I do have an issue. One is that manufacturers right now are overcharging people for Crystal Titanium because it's become a fad and the in thing. That's the first part. The second part is that we're not even at the point where we're looking at placing an order yet. And by the time we get to that, my concern is going
18
to
months. Yeah, the
yeah,
fad's gone, right?
yeah, that's what I'm concerned about is that we're trying to while the fad is hot now, we're placing the order. It's going to be past that, and that's going to be last year's in style, if you will, and so it's not going to resonate the same way. We're late to the party for that, but it's a good suggestion, and I'm not saying that crystal tie can't be an accent either, right? You can still add crystal tie in somewhere, backspacer and clip or something like that, and now it's not full scale or full inlay. It's an accent piece that just brings some dimension and color to a knife, which is still very cool. You know, that's something that like Lightning Anno is a great example of that. I think Lightning Anno scales in its entirety is just not a good look. Nah, it's too much. But I think that if you throw a piece in there that's Lightning Anno and it's done the right way, very nice and very clean with a lot of blue and light, and the lightning is a clean lightning bolt through it. I think that it can look good on a knife without looking cheap.
Yeah,
If that
and
makes sense.
yeah, Rob made a good point. 1209, I guess probably the second to
I'm that
last.
freaking far behind. Crystal tie is cool, but it is following the way of the Arctic Storm fat carbon that's burned out. Yeah, that's
Yep.
exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you had to get on this train on the ride up the mountain, not on the ride down or while you're at the peak. And that's where we're at with this is everybody's hit this, and you know, tons of crystal tie is out there, and at this point by the time we were to order one with crystal tie or anything like that, it would be it'd be way past that fad.
You can go back just a little bit. Donnie,
Yeah,
1207.
Donnie, I mean, I get what you're saying, right? 18 months, I can't plan out next week. Yeah, I mean, but with us, we have to plan out so far in advance. We have to look at if I'm putting in for something now, I have to plan that I'm not getting my prototypes for 4 months. We're not, once we get the prototypes, let's just say our prototypes are perfecto and we don't need to re-prototype anything, so we need one and done. Then we still need several months worth of testing and everything else before we would even place production orders. So let's say on the short end, 4 months. So now you're 8 months in. Okay, so 18 months can really be more like 12 to 13 months on the low end. That's like your bare minimum.
Then you order 400 of them, and yeah, you're another 4 months out. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's the one thing. Um, I have an herb knife on my books. I gave the people what they need. You're a man of the people, Donnie. You're a man of the people. That's fantastic. It can be, man. It definitely can be stressful, right? When you have no control or you have limited control, it's definitely stressful. But it's strategic too.
well, I think some of the other piece, piggybacking off that strategy, Sam, I think some of the other pieces is we've got to figure out which OEM does a good job with maybe what our vision is with steel materials. Not everybody uses all the same stuff, or they'll use all the same baseline ingredients, but some of them will use a steel that another one won't, like S45 came up earlier. Right. So now we've got to consider what steel do we want this in? Who does that well? And do they have the availability to get us in when we want? So there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And then sometimes that turns into compromises on our side to say, okay, let's make where we had this envision can't do it. Let's make some tweaks to get it still a nice knife where they can do it. So I think that we've always got compromises that we've got to consider based upon availability, timeline, and capabilities of the different OEMs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 80s camo carbon's another one that's it's getting worn out, right? You're seeing that, and to be honest with you, if you ask me, watermelon sugar looks so damn close to it that it's almost like they screwed themselves with it, if you will, because it's the same colorway. It's just more of one color versus the other, a little more pinks in it and stuff like that. I'll tell you, like, what's the one? Damtanium is the new carbon fiber that looks really really nice. I like that one a lot. I think if you're talking about colors, because I'm not a color guy, right? So, but that one with like deep blues and blacks and stuff like that, I think that one looks sharp. Um, what's the other one? Shipwreck carbon fiber is getting pretty popular right now, especially with like copper accents. I think that, I mean, it looks good. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but I can appreciate the colorway. So, and then this year, I feel like green is in a lot more. Last year, I felt like purple was in a
Purple.
lot. And this year, it's like green seems to be in. So I'm trying to figure out what the trend is going to be for 27 so that maybe we make sure that we're on that boat.
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess, right?
I just got a text from KC. He said it's blue.
Who said what's blue? What are you talking about?
I said I just got a text from KC. He said the trend for next year is going to be blue.
Oh, yeah, well,
He wants everything blue.
yeah, Casey's. Well, no, you know what? I give Casey credit. He was talking about it the other day in to me, and he said something like everything that he's done is blue. He's trying to get he's trying to open his mind a little bit.
My last 3 knives of his that I bought, none of them had blue on it.
Love to see someone figure out a way to do a fade dark green to light green. You know, if there is anybody to ask that about, I would probably reach out to Darkwater and ask him, because he does some gorgeous fade work. And if there's somebody in the community that knows a good amount about anoing and fading, it's him. And I would bet you that he could probably tell you either how he would do it, or if it's something that is, I would imagine it's possible, but I don't know enough about it, so I'll just shut up.
Yeah, I'm wondering how easy it is to fade greens. Looking at the voltage, I've seen them like say, okay, these are our colors, and here's the voltage it would require. This voltage gives this color. Green doesn't seem to be something that's on that scale.
No, because it feels like green goes to yellow, right? Like,
yeah,
or yellow goes to green, I should say. It's the yeah, I get what you're saying. Going back to what Rob said, he did mention crosscut carbon fiber as well, by the way.
Cool. Yeah.
Crosscut carbon fiber is stunning if it's done right. And that's a really, really good idea. I'm not a big carbon fiber, like classic carbon fiber guy, but crosscut carbon fiber looks really, really nice. I wouldn't be completely mad at that. Something done well in Silver Surfer would be cool, at least an option with a little more polish or buffing. Oh, okay. Okay. So Silver Surfer, high polish type of look. What about, so somebody had mentioned earlier, Rob, like Zerblasting. And I know that there's plenty of people out there that are plenty of companies out there that are Zerblasting, but what are your thoughts on Zerblasting, Ty? Jazzy camo. Yeah, jazzy camo is nice. The Pictus that I did a review on recently, that came through pass around, was a jazzy camo Pictus. And then I have a plain like black titanium Pictus, so I put both of them in there. If I remember right, it was jazzy. I'm pretty sure it was jazzy. But I have been seeing that color pop quite a bit lately. Green is cool, but a nice popping color of green, that high polished blue like Skiff made blades does. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. We were talking about it before. I wouldn't mind a couple glass accents, kind of like the inlays on Chris's Halt, or I've been seeing Prince Customs putting it on Proteans lately. Um, some glass accents might be a cool fit on something. I don't know what yet. I'm just taking mental notes and putting this aside for what could be future projects and stuff like that is really what the purpose of this exercise is. Um, very hard to do dark green is what Mick says. Mick, is that like higher voltage type of scenario there to get it to darker? Like, is that on its way to trying to Anno Black or something? Like, just curious. I don't know a whole lot in Voltage World on Anno. I've watched it, but I don't have the sheet breakdowns like that. So I'm just curious. Um, different surface texture will give wirely different tones. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. There's shadowing off of ridge is absolutely a real color feature, and it's what probably makes the Blur Pinkle what it is because of the texture of the handle that makes it almost change color by the angle of the knife. So good call on that, Donnie, because that's 100% true.
Check out Robin, 1219.
Hang on.
I have not seen that. That sounds interesting.
Oh, Rob. I thought I was looking for Robin. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
Have you seen the light stainless steel fat carbon? It's new.
I've not seen it.
Light stainless. Now I'm gonna have to look it
Sounds
up, Rob.
interesting. Yeah.
I'm that it needs to see light stainless steel fat carbon. Oh, yeah.
I likes.
I likes. It's very nice. It's a wah wah wee wah. There's no difference here. Okay, folks. Um, that's nice. I like that a lot. I do. Very very nice. Good call on that one, Rob. I've never seen that. Appreciate you bringing that to the attention. That is very interesting. That one's very very interesting.
Hit Stacy at 1222.
But if it's too gray, then it looks dull. If Zerblast is more Aeroblast, then it's more pearlescent. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, Rob. Is the more Aeroblast pearlescent one? What? This one?
Yeah.
About the dichrolim acrylic. That's a big word for me. Dichrolim acrylic. All right, let's look it up, Stacy. Wasn't ignoring you. I apologize. I've fallen behind chat so many times that it's actually pretty freaking terrible, and I probably missed you on that. So my apologies.
And I fell asleep 45 minutes ago. Typically, it's my job to keep up with the chat.
Holy smokes. This is holy shit.
Oh, that's
look
cool.
at the sheet in the back.
That's outstanding.
And that's like black sea burl texture is what that one is. Wow. This is cool.
Add to
I
cart.
mean, it's not my type of thing, like for me personally, but I
It's
could
for me.
certainly, I know. I could certainly appreciate it. Here, hold on a second here. He's got a let's follow you. Why not?
Yeah, he's got guitars and knife stuff. You'll love him.
Wow.
Good find on that, Stacy. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. This is I've never seen this before. That's really really cool. I dig that a lot. That's a phone case. Look at the blue here on the sheet. Wowzer. That's funky. That's really
Yeah.
really cool. I would imagine this is stuff that we would have to source. This is not something an OEM readily carries, so we'd probably have to source it to grab that for sure. Jack Wolf has used that. I never. Oh, that's pretty cool. He created this process himself. He used to work like Kodak. Um, that is like a lava lamp party going on there. Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it is. This is really, really wild stuff, Stacy. And I have never seen this before, and it is really wild. And there is a ton of colorways and color options here, and it's spectacular. I definitely want to explore this at some point. Possibly, I would imagine this doesn't come cheap either, but very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you for that. Oh man. All right. 12, just about 12:30 Eastern time here, folks. I think it is about bedtime. The bear needs to go on a slumber. I need to put
5:30
everything
sounds
back in my
early.
office the way it was before so that I can actually go to work tomorrow. And so one last time before we go, if you haven't hit that like button, please smash the like button. We certainly do appreciate the help and the support. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that too. We appreciate everybody's time tonight hanging out with us. It's another good time with everybody. Appreciate all the engagement and appreciate all the suggestions and the thoughts tonight. And Chris, what do you got to say, sir?
We just truly value walking out life with you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. You all have a great night. We'll catch you next week. And until